Yeah, it stays that way. You just gotta let it hang.
I'm not even drunk yet.
Oh shit, dude.
This is a very solemn entry
Yeah.
into this one.
Well, it's been I'll be honest, man. Like,
Black Label?
it's good, dude. It's smoky. Hey, do you remember you were there when we did the one with Springer where he left at like 2 a.m., right? I mean, did it for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
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 So it's a lot like that campfire one. It's not as heavy, but it's like a lot like that campfire whiskey we had that I can't seem to find anywhere.
Campfire?
Yeah.
That's more than I thought it was going to be.
But it's pretty good. I like it. And it's cheap.
Johanny
Fucking
Walker.
$50 for this giant thing.
It just reminds me of when we used to buy handled Jack Daniels. They were like $20.
Because what was fucked up? Well, first of all, before we get into that, cheers. Cheers to episode 100.
Episode 100.
Yes, sir. Oh, that's good.
Oh, I remember how much I hate Johnny Walker.
If you don't like it, you don't got to drink it.
I already poured it.
I love that shit.
I don't know what it is. I hate Johnny Walker. I've tried the red label, and now I tried the black label, and I think I've tried one other one if they have it. I don't like it.
I
don't
love
know
it.
what it is. It just tastes like acetone, like burnt tires.
Yeah, I see, and I like that.
I don't like
I don't know why I like it, but I do.
Remember that? I think I still have it upstairs. Or maybe I gave it to Springer to drink because he just drinks everything. Remember that Japanese whiskey I got?
That was horrible.
That's what this tastes like. That's it's like a strong, smoky, like I'm drinking cancer out of a glass.
No, that Japanese stuff was like sour though.
Yeah, but this is like it's the same like acetone, like burnt rubber, like burnt. It's burnt. Like I get it. The smoky flavor. People like that. I don't like it. I think if I'm eating something or drinking something, I don't want it to be burnt. If I go out to eat and it comes out burnt, I'm not happy. Like, oh fuck yeah, they burnt my pizza. I'm like, hey, can you send this back? They burnt the shit out of my steak or whatever the fuck,
Well, I agree. I agree with that, like with food, because I never understood like burnt ends. They sell that at Costco. You've seen that, right? The pack of burnt ends. I don't get that.
Burnt ends are good. Okay, I take it back.
I don't get that.
Rewind a little bit. Okay, so like if you're smoking something, different. But if I'm not smoking a pizza, they burn a pizza, it comes out like a rock, like it's gross.
Yeah.
But burnt ends on a brisket, pretty good.
I'm not a fan.
Because there's meat on it still. Like, it's mostly meat.
Okay, yeah, but okay, so there's alcohol in that. Why don't you like that? It's the same analogy. You like meat, you like alcohol.
You make a point.
You see my point? I don't know. I like it. I think it's fucking
You made
great.
it change my mind. It's an acquired taste.
But yeah, it's been a weird like
Nope, it's not an acquired taste.
36 hours.
Yeah. It started off okay, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I'm glad that, because the reason why we're doing this now is so as this is getting recorded, this is technically in sequence. This is episode 99. But when it's going to get released is episode 100. And the only reason why that got messed up is because I had to reschedule one, and that's not going to happen until like July or August because I got super sick. It's like right after I did the mango cakes, and then so I had to reschedule that guy, and then
Excuse me, everybody.
yeah, now a week from now I will be in like the very beginning stages of recovery from surgery, and this upcoming week I've got a pod. Well, I'm free Monday. I need that free. And I've got a pod Tuesday, comedy show Wednesday, pod Thursday, and then Friday morning is surgery.
Ugh.
So this is really the only time I could do it.
Have you talked about why you're getting surgery?
No, not yet. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm getting it for a fucking hernia, and that's gonna suck.
Because you suck at lifting.
Yeah, dude. Why. Yeah. Well, it's crazy because like
it's because you lift too hard. That's why.
Right. Yeah, I go too hard. Well, before we get into anything crazy, I do want to dedicate episode 100 to Garrett, dude.
Yeah.
Like for people who've been a fan of the podcast and I don't say that like not fictitiously. I don't say that like empty. because there's actually like I'm finding out the people who actually follow this like every week, and it's weird. So shout out to you guys. That's awesome, but it's strange.
What you said?
There's fucking weekly listeners. So for people that have been listening to this for a long time, well, not a long time, but almost 2 years, we did episode like fucking 32, I think. This was back in the second studio. And the second guest we had in that studio was Garrett Gonzales. And a lot of you know him because he fucking ran Legion Iron here in Albuquerque. He was a part of Massthetics with Simon. And then he did a couple of his own podcasts. Used to train John Jones for his fight camps. That dude lived a crazy fucking life. And I don't want to get into it's not my story to tell how he passed. But so we're recording this on what's today, Saturday? So Saturday the 20th, we're recording this. And he passed Thursday night, the 18th in the evening. And I found out about it yesterday morning around like 9:30. And I'm going to be completely fucking honest, dude. I went to Danielle's house right after I found out about it. It went, I'm going to a doctor's appointment, and I get a text from Nick from the slums. Shout out to Nick because he's a homie. And ironically enough, I met him at Legion. We were both friends with Garrett. And he shot me a message, called me, let me know what happened. Went through with my doctor's appointment, which was fucking rough. We live in the ghetto, folks. That's the ice cream truck. It's not even ice cream. Have you seen our ice cream truck?
It's not even the ice cream
It's a dude's van that has like the ice cream pictures like duct taped to it.
Yeah. Probably like off topic there, but yeah.
But anyway.
It's the elote van. No, bro. I don't know if you saw when you pulled up. So homies across the street that always party.
Yeah.
They invited the elote guy in to drink and party with them. Like, that's a real move right there.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, walk outside, and his fucking little cart's just parked out there, and he just fucking walked right in, dude.
That's legit.
It was fucking legit. I was like, that's fucking sick right there. That's community.
That's funny. But yeah, so he we talked on the phone. I went to with my appointment, and the only thing I'll say about it is that he passed and was pronounced dead like at the gym. Because for people who know as well, like he lived at the gym. He had his own apartment, living space. It was actually pretty nice. I've been up there a few times. Like, it's actually a pretty dope spot. That was upstairs, and he passed there. And so I literally just went from my doctor's appointment. I spoke with you on the phone briefly, and I just went to her place, and I just fucking cried my eyes out for close to an hour. It's scary shit, dude.
Yeah, I didn't know him as well as you did, but like it still sucks, bro. Like death, yeah. I'm weird around death, so like dude, like any kind of death, like family or whatever, I get fucking weird, bro. Like I don't know, death weirds me out.
Well, it's natural, but it's unnatural at the same time.
Yeah, and that's like what weirds me out because like I think I'm like overly comfortable with it.
I mean, think about the job you have.
Well, even before that, like I just was like, oh yeah, like my first time, like sorry to like go off topic.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, like first time, like when my grandfather passed, I was like in 5th grade, I think. I didn't like was sad, but like well, it's not like my parents didn't tell us like, hey, he's
right,
he just randomly died. It was like, no, he's been sick for a while. He's probably gonna die pretty soon. And then sure as shit, we were up there like waiting for it, and he died. And I was like, okay. Everyone else was crying and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah. They told us this was gonna happen.
Right.
So like, why are we sad about it? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm more of like if someone died suddenly, like like one of the like God forbid like one of the boys did or
It just drops dead.
like drops dead. Like I get that. I understand
Right.
how that's tragic and sad. And I understand that. Like that's how what happened to one of my cousins, and that's
Yeah.
like a tragedy.
Right.
But like when somebody like that you're expecting to die,
Yeah.
like my other grandfather who fucking had dementia and Alzheimer's for like 8 years,
Yeah.
you're like, fuck, just get on with it.
Yeah.
'Cause,
No,
like,
that's
it wasn't even my grandfather at the end of that, but like
right.
so anyway, I just feel overly comfortable with it. Like the idea of like people passing, not just dying, but like passing on, like like
Well, there's a difference.
yeah.
There's a
like,
difference.
Fucking abruptly dying and passing. Like Garrett's abruptly dying, which is just tragic.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
And then you have, people you expect, like
Sick, elderly people, sick people.
People like I go on calls for, like I expect to go on those calls. Like, okay, this person's dead. Cool. Okay. Moving on, like sucks.
I was gonna say, I feel like you would get more not weirded out, but it would bother you more to get on calls of people like younger people that pass, or if it's like, or if it's like, the one story you told about the dude who was like playing catch with his kid and he fucking ran through a mirror or some shit.
Yeah,
like that shit's kind of crazy. But if you're rolling up on like, because you guys, I get confused, even like when I was working with home health care. Do you guys respond to fucking hospice care when they pass? But just when they pass, right? In-home hospice care.
Depends on it. Like it depends on a lot of stuff. Mainly if like they have a DNR and how like prepared the family is.
Yeah.
Or who's taking care of them. So like for in-home like hospice care, like it's just legally required that a law entity has to respond out. So like let's say doctor, nurse is on the scene or whatever, and like, or not even like a nurse, like home healthcare nurse or whatever.
Yeah, like a caregiver.
A caregiver.
Yeah.
And the person passes. They were expecting it. They've been expecting it. Family's there. They still have to call the police / I think like this police / us out to verify the death.
That makes sense. That does make sense because then like
or there has to be like doctor's orders in like in possession, like, hey, this person's gonna pass.
Yeah.
It's a matter like, and they have to present that. Like
Yeah.
You can't someone just can't die
and then nothing is done about it.
And
right.
nothing's done about it.
Well, because
like the family can't just bury them in the backyard. Like that's not how. Well, no, it's honestly
because that happens.
Because like you think about it, like that's what people used to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, dad died, throw him in the backyard.
Yeah.
With grandpa and grandma.
Right.
It doesn't happen anymore. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a proceeding behind it. People have social security numbers now, so like the government has to keep track of who's dying and who's not. And for the most part, like obviously shit still goes unreported, but when it's like, especially in a city, like like all that gets reported, gets counted, tallied, and then the proper people have to dispose of the body. You can't just do it yourself.
Well, because then I think about too when you go up tax brackets. Talking about rich people, I still can't say the last name because Lord forbid the wrong people watch this or listen to this. Because like my old job when I was doing like private healthcare or the private home healthcare, it was literally just really rich old people or people who had like very specific and older and which was better benefits through the VA and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you off camera, but like one of the families that we had when I was working there before I got laid off, they were going through this huge fucking lawsuit. Or not lawsuit. It was like a civil trial between the family of who was going to get what and what was going to happen because the lady that was getting the care, she was like, which was crazy to me because she like married into the family and then through one way or another, which was like, I heard a little bit of the details. Like, man, that's kind of shady. Like, you ever hear all those stories about the woman that marries in and then people start magically disappearing or just randomly dying, and she starts going up the hierarchy of like, oh, she's in the will for here, she's the beneficiary for this.
Black Widow.
Yeah.
No, literally, yeah.
Yeah, and so, the two daughters were like going back and forth with who's going to get what underwear, and they were transitioning her from standard care into hospice care like within the year. Ooh, that's our beers. I'll be right back.
And
I'm proud to announce that the podcast is now officially sponsored by the fine people over at Chop Chili Company. Guys, this is some of the best chili you can get here in the state of New Mexico, and they are online as well as in stores. They can be found at Smith's, Albertsons, Sprouts, John Brooks, and Lowe's Corner Market. They have 3 amazing flavors that you see here, and they also have frozen green chili that you can get online. Go on over to the website, chopchilico.com, and get yourself some amazing chili today. No, they could just be colder. Anyway, so they...
transition.
Yeah, so they were going from standard healthcare to home healthcare, and I could see the, like... Obviously, I wasn't there for it. I don't know what the status is of the case, but like I could see the foundations of like, oh, they're gonna start like really going after each other. They're gonna start like loitering hard, and that's when you need like every letter of the law leading up to the death. Yeah, that's because and I would always get curious about that because I didn't like, dude, until I got into that job, I had no idea what the fuck hospice was. I had no idea what the fuck any of that, because they didn't fucking train me. I didn't know what any of that was. No, so like whenever there was issues, I'd be like, oh, hey, we need to call 911 for this person, and then the caregiver didn't fucking know because they were just like new on the job, and then the fire department would be all pissed because like, why the fuck are we responding to a hospice? They're still alive, but they're under care. Like that's your job. Like,
yeah, it's like
yeah.
Like, I get it, but also at the same time...
Well, because these people had a DNR, too. Like, every hospice has a DNR.
Yeah, so... and, like, the shitty part is, like, yeah, they have a DNR, but let's say, like, they fall. We can't just not pick them up, right? We can't. Like, it's just...
Well, you should tell that to fucking... some of the fucking firefighters I dealt with, dude. Straight up. They're like, we're not supposed to help this person. They have a DNR. Like, straight up. Not even making a joke, dude.
See, and, like, I have an issue with that because...
That's fucked.
Well, A, it's fucked, and B, it's like they're not actively dying.
Yeah, they're just hurt.
Yeah, a DNR is a do not resuscitate, not a fucking do not pick them up.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's literally a do not resuscitate. So if they're dead, like they're fucking coded, we don't resuscitate them, or we don't give life-saving interventions.
Right.
And Springer could actually explain that better because he did all that stuff for paramedic school. But yeah, just like from my understanding from doing it, it's like, yeah, if they fall down, like you still gotta pick them up and fucking make sure they're okay.
Yeah,
That's part of your job.
I agree, but everyone that I talked to, for like when it came to hospice stuff, they would just push that onto the fucking hospice nurse.
Which I get because it's a huge legal liability.
Yeah.
Because let's say they do end up dying or whatever, the family can come back and try to sue the city and be like, hey, they tried to provide care and she had a DNR or he had a DNR. You know, they were actively dying and they helped them.
Interesting.
Yeah, like for just bullshit, right? But the city's gonna, like, if the city they have any side of just the city losing, the city's just gonna settle. And most people know that.
Yeah.
So they're just going to sue the city.
And I would imagine there's going to be repercussions for the actual people, though. They could lose their job. They could get...
Yeah, it's like an actual company like AMR.
Yeah.
Or like Press AS, Albuquerque Ambulance, which is a Presbyterian subsidiary.
Is there a union for firefighters?
Fuck yeah, dude.
I have no idea.
Almost like 99.9% of firefighters are union.
I had no idea. Yeah.
IAFF local 244, baby.
No fucking way. I had no idea. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like fucking 900, 700.
Jesus,
there's a lot. Yeah,
I know police.
Pittsburgh's number one.
I know police unions are a thing and a huge issue, but you know, firefighters. You don't really hear about the firefighter unions because they're not fucking investigating themselves for some awesome nonsense,
that's why you
right?
Don't hear about them. Yeah, they're most. Yeah, no, right? Some fucking nonsense. I don't know, man. I'm a huge union guy. I really support unions.
Well, yeah, because it's workers' rights.
Yeah, workers' rights, and David's fucking stupid, doesn't like unions. I hope you hear that, David, because we had an argument about that. He's like, no, bro, there's unions are bad because they don't have competitive wages and shit. Like, no, that's the reason there's competitive wages, David.
Is because of unions. I mean, that's what the writer's strike is right now.
Yeah.
The Screenwriters Guild, they were like, hey, y'all aren't fucking paying us. And it happens every couple of years and things get pushed back. And it's going to get resolved. Like, the worst case scenario is you get another movie like Quantum of Solace. Like, if you've seen that movie, right?
Yes.
For anyone who doesn't, like, remember that movie or anything like that. It's the second Daniel Craig Bond movie. And what's crazy about that movie is it's really good for the first 2/3. And then the final act is just nonsense because the actors and the director had to basically hodgepodge a fucking script together because they couldn't legally use the writer's input. And that movie just fell apart in the end. Yeah. So that's the worst case scenario. But no, unions are a great fucking thing.
Yeah, unions are a great fucking thing. I always, every time like we have our negotiations with the city, like why can't we get this raise or the city's dicking us around, I'm always go for like what happened in the good old days when you met some politicians and broke their kneecaps kind of union, the good old days.
Yeah, well, that's like.
But nobody wants to do that. Like
that's like.
It also kind of blows my mind. Like I get it. Unions just can't you can't fucking just walk out. But it's crazy to think like the police union and like the firefighters union, like they have all the power.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like they have all the power. Like yeah, you're gonna have scabs and stuff. Like if they don't want to pay you or like whatever the fuck, and the union gets together and like, hey, we're gonna fucking have the blue flu. What's the city gonna do? There's already a shortage of fucking like healthcare workers as it is, and especially first responders.
Yeah.
Like the city, they have to fucking like they have to negotiate or they have to just. Okay, yeah, you guys win.
Yeah.
Because if not, what? The city's just going to go without.
So,
it's also, but again, it also looks bad if, like, firefighters are like, we're not getting paid enough, so we're just not going to help people. Like, you got to think about that, too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that looks bad. And I feel like.
It's not right.
And I feel like the people that join the fire department, for the most part, they're there because they actually want to do the job.
Yeah.
Right. Certainly the ones that make it past a couple of years. I've asked me to ask you this. So. It's obvious to me why recruiting is bad for police. That's obvious. I don't think there's really a discussion around that.
Oh, time out. So I just saw something in the news when I was at my grandma's about this APD officer that's on trial for fucking grooming like a disabled 13-year-old child. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. And of course it's in the news, not just police officer. APD officer. Yeah, it's fucking terrible. And like, I guess they had one of his somebody, one of another police officer, like, you could hear him talking in the background, like doing the, what do you call it?
Testifying?
Prohibition? Not prohibition. It's the thing before trial.
Arraignment?
I think it's an arraignment. No, not an arraignment. It's I had to do it.
Well, like a pretrial hearing?
Kind of, yeah. And he was telling, oh yeah, he totally did it. He was pretty much like literally word for word. He's like, yeah, he was grooming her.
They were talking to the accused, like the accused guy. They're talking to his partner.
His partner or somebody that knew him, yeah, like on the force.
Right, yeah, like not his not like his significant other, no, like his police officer, like assigned partner. I think
APD actually doesn't really necessarily have assigned partners around, like pretty much single cars.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like somebody that worked with them and the police.
Someone close to him in the force,
like,
right?
Yeah, he totally was grooming that child. Oh. Yeah.
I mean, good on that dude for ratting out a pedophile.
The lawyer asked him, was like, yeah, so was he seeking a physical relationship with this individual? And he's like, oh yeah, he said that. Yeah, he wanted a physical relationship.
I mean, good on him for reporting the pedophile, but on the same time, he probably should have done that when you first found out about it.
I'm sure he did.
But that's a bad look for fucking APD.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I totally sidetracked what you were gonna say.
Oh yeah, so it's obvious to me why there's like bad recruiting numbers. But why is there bad recruiting for firefighters?
Okay, I have two. Okay, so I have two theories of why it's bad for us. Well, not two. I have a few things.
So actually, let me ask you a different question. Sorry.
Okay.
Is your retention bad?
No.
Are there people quitting?
No.
So if you get people, they stay.
Yes.
So why aren't they hiring well?
Okay, so I have a few reasons for that. First thing I noticed when I got into the department was our recruiting is terrible. So you know how like military goes to like high schools and stuff, and they have classes, they have JROTC. Yeah. They're actively like trying to fucking groom these children to join the military.
They're actively like brainwashing.
Yeah, if anyone knows about grooming, it's people that are in the military. Like honestly,
Yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah, J. Rotzi and all that.
Oh yeah, you're special. Come join this
Yeah.
your freshman year, and you're gonna learn how to be an army person.
What's the thing that you did in middle school? The
Civil Air Patrol.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say this. I will say this. Civil Air Patrol is pretty cool because you actually get to fly a plane.
Okay.
As a middle schooler, like, how many people like that? Come on.
Okay, wait. Did you actually fly the plane, or was it like they gave you the dummy wheel and then the real pilot was behind you?
No, like I actually actively flew the plane.
So if you wanted to, you could have nosedived it.
Yeah, I could have just fucking boom. Yeah, intrusive thoughts win. Could have totally just nosedove that plane, dude. Oh my Straight into the ground. Well, obviously the pilot would have taken over.
Right.
But yeah, you get control.
Because he's got like the.
You're actively learning how to get your pilot's license.
It's like when you're doing your driver's permit, and the instructor's next to you, and they've got the secondary brake to stop you from fucking nose. Okay, I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah. What the fuck is this for?
They're not twist offs.
I've been hanging out with Lucy too much. Specifically thought of this as just a wine opener. A bottle opener. I was like, we're having a wine? Where the fuck's the wine? Maybe it's on your water bottle?
I don't think I've ever had wine like when I've asked for it. I don't think I've ever asked for wine. It's always been like, hey, we're drinking wine. Or you should try this wine. I'm like, no.
So I was like the same way. And I like actually tried different kinds of wine.
Then you got brainwashed by the fucking people at the wine at the wine tasting community, and you're like, hey, maybe I am better than my friends.
All wine tastes the same.
It does, dude. Like there's three types of wine. It's white, red, and sorority girl. That's all it is.
Which is just white and red mixed together to make pink.
Yeah, that's all it is.
No, like wine does taste different. There's shitty wine. Okay, I will say this. The only big difference I've had is I know the difference between bad wine and good wine now. That's it.
And what's the difference?
Well, I guess it depends on like how much like what kind of wine you like.
Oh my god!
But for me,
I could tell you that, and I've had 3 glasses of wine in my entire life.
But for me, I really like smooth reds that are like fruity.
Oh no!
I know. I'm sorry. I gotta go into it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You've just been brainwashed. Yeah, go ahead.
I hate the ones that taste like acid, like really acidic.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only thing I noticed. If it tastes like acidic, I don't like it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, it's probably okay.
I just know that I've the only.
And if it tastes like fucking fruit juice, I love it.
Yeah, out of the 3 or like 4 glasses of wine that I've had in my entire life, I know I like red. Yeah. And the only red that I actually like is Apothic, but it's like stored in whiskey barrels.
Oh, so good.
And that shit fucks.
I love bourbon barrel or whiskey barrel wine.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good.
I hate pink, and that's mostly due to Emily.
Everyone hates pink.
I hate pink.
Pink's for fucking sorority chicks.
Yeah. Because she liked it so fucking much. And yeah, no.
Gross.
Yeah. And then I think I've ever had white, to be honest. 'Cause my dad drank white. And like, and the only people that I know that drink white are like old people.
I will say this: I won't drink white with steak. I'll drink white with fish, like that kind of thing. You have your reds with your red meats,
right?
Your spaghettis and shit like that. Pretty simple, and you have your whites with your lighter stuff. I don't like a lot of whites. There's one white I like, and it's because it's really sweet, but it gives me a fucking like wicked migraine the next day because it's just sugar.
Yeah,
like the grapes are so fucking just sugar saturated.
Yeah.
Only reason I like it is because it tastes like fucking like you drinking Sour Patch Kids.
I've the consistent thing that I've heard about wine from actually like wine drinkers is the hangovers. Like wine gives you the worst hangover.
Yeah, it's not.
Which is like I've had horrible hangovers before, and I've never been hungover on wine.
Which also makes me wonder, how the fuck did we accomplish anything back in like the fucking BC era?
Oh, yeah.
That's all people drank was fucking wine and mead.
Well, that goes into like I wonder how much what we put into our bodies is reacting to all the artificial stuff. Because back then it was just what you had, right? And the only thing you had
got clean water, fucking wine.
Well, exactly, right?
Yeah.
But the thing about the food, it was the only preservative they had was salt.
Yeah, you get salt and fucking dirt.
That's your only preservative. And then your fruits you only eat them when they're in season.
No pesticides.
Yeah, 0 pesticides. When you're eating fish, it is only the best kind of fish because
Don't
everyone who ate the lower fish died
Don't eat tilapia.
because it's all fucking infested.
If you eat tilapia, you need to look up how they store tilapia.
I've heard it's disgusting.
They put them in sewers. Like they eat shit.
Okay, I don't believe that.
I'll fucking find
But,
it.
okay.
Jamie, look that up. Okay. I'll fucking find it.
Yeah, because I think about that too. It's like, well, they were always drinking. And I'm sure they had like wicked hangovers, but I'm sure they also had like natural things to deal with that or like subdue it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that, again, because they didn't have all the preservatives and the high fructose corn syrups and everything, and they didn't have like things say carb amounts.
In
like
many parts of the world, tilapia destined for fish feed, animal feed, or even human consumption are cultured in sewage ponds and tanks.
fuck. Who's that from? What's the source?
Fluentcore.com. Yeah.
That sounds
That's not all of it. Not all of it. Not all of it's kept like most fish. Not every single fish is kept in fucking.
Yeah, but that's interesting.
But like the cheap tilapia you're getting, yeah, it's probably kept in sewage
Like
tanks.
because all the shit that I get from Kirtland, let's be real, like
Sewage tanks.
it tastes great, but
Sewage tanks.
yeah, it's probably not the highest quality.
Also, another reason like I like shrimp, but I don't like it at the same time. Shrimp and lobster.
I fuck with shrimp, dude.
Oh, I fucking love it. Like I love the flavor. I love the way it tastes. But also then I think about like I'm eating a cockroach right now, and then I'm sorry. I put that in your head. It's never gonna leave because they're crustaceans. They're fucking cockroaches of the sea.
That's like saying
And not necessarily shrimps, but lobsters.
that's like saying tuna is the chicken of the sea. Like it is, but shut the fuck up. Who cares? It's tuna. Just shovel it down and move on. Eat the shrimp, dip it in
Tuna are not chicken of the sea.
That's what people.
They're fucking huge.
That's what people call those chicken of the sea. Yeah.
Have people ever seen a tuna? They're fucking massive.
Yeah, they come in cans.
No.
Yeah.
They're like fucking like 700 pounds.
Yeah, and we squeeze them into cans. It's great. This is
How
America.
is anyone like, yes, the chicken of the sea? I've never seen anyone fucking spend 3 hours reeling in a chicken. Are you fucking kidding me? No, you just grab it by the neck, you wrinkle it around like that till it snaps, and then you're done. It's that easy.
Just tuna?
You could do one in each hand.
I don't know why, because you know how like sharks, if you go with the grain with a shark, you don't hurt yourself. But if you go against the grain with a shark, you like shred your hands because they have all the blades on their like not their skin, but like they have blades on them, like micro blades. You know about that, right?
It's just like sandpaper.
Yeah, right. So if tuna had that, you're swinging it around, you're just sharding up your fucking.
Exactly. See what I mean? Like, again, whoever the fuck said it's chicken of the sea is fucking dumb.
But
It's not.
oh, what was I gonna say?
They're like the wild boar of the sea. I don't fucking know.
But they're but I'm sure the chicken's just the actual chicken at Costco is just fine. But yeah, I don't know, dude. Like,
Oh, we're way the fuck off topic.
yeah, I know, and it's in the back of my head, and we'll get back to it. We'll get back to it. I don't know, dude. I just, I feel like with everything that we have in our diet, all the preservatives that we have, everything we're finding about microplastics, and then you look at everything that has been put into our bodies by pharmaceutical companies. Like, dude, when I was growing up, I was raised in a very conservative household. My whatever.
He's using the shop back.
Oh, okay. Because my dad was super fucking Democrat, but I didn't really know a lot of his political values except for just he hated George Bush, and he loved Obama. That's really the extent of it. And then I just never talked to him again. But then being raised primarily in my mother's side of the family with very conservative values, Republican values, it was I was raised to think that like hippies were stupid and like all natural remedies were nonsense, that you needed actual medicine, you needed antibiotics, you need like actual shit prescribed by doctors.
Yeah, Western medicine.
Yeah, Western medicine. Like that's how I grew up. But now that even pre-COVID, I find out all the nonsense that Big Pharma's done. And then post-COVID, and now that that's been getting exposed, God, this beer's making me gassy.
Oh, Sam.
All the everything we're finding out about Big Pharma and how they literally pay.
Are you fucking kidding me? Mr. September himself. Holy shit! George Bush rookie.
That's so stupid.
I'm sorry. I fucking love their videos.
There's that one, and then there's a meme they had about Epstein, where it's like an Epstein veteran card or something like that, or a pro card.
Saddam Hussein rookie card.
Anyway, but how we found out now that it's for real that doctors get a percentage of the meds they sell and all that shit. It's like what? It's
hospital bureaucracy, but like
yeah.
As you get older, you realize like. Well, and just like the data that comes out, like when I was talking about super gonorrhea, like it's that like everyone tells you like, oh yeah, homeopathic medicines are fucking stupid.
Yeah, so backwards to that, we were having a conversation like 2 months ago, and randomly, what the fuck is he doing? Dude. I don't think the camera, I don't think the mics are picking that up. But anyway, So we were having a conversation like 2 months ago, and randomly you brought up super gonorrhea, and I didn't believe you, and so I stopped working on the podcast to look up super gonorrhea, and basically what it is, it's been around since like 2013, maybe longer.
WHO.
Yeah, it's
super gonorrhea.
Yeah, the World Health Organization, like the official, like shit. Their name, the best they came up for it was super gonorrhea. And basically, it's gonorrhea that is impervious to any like antibiotic or any medicine that you get that would normally treat it.
Yeah, you have to use really broad spectrum IV drip antibiotics,
and they need to catch it early on.
Yeah, and like those antibiotics are like you're septic basically. You're dying.
Yeah. Because they kill like all the good bacteria, right?
Yeah, they kill everything.
They basically just like wash out your system. Like they
super dangerous.
Like hard reboot you.
Mm-hmm. Well, not even hard reboot. They're just super dangerous. Like a hard reboot would be like getting rid of like just your bad bacteria, but like those any antibiotic gets rid of the good bacteria too.
Right.
Which is why like people who take antibiotics like you get the shits. It's all that gut health, all that bacteria in your gut, and just fucking dies. So all that shit that's like in the food and stuff you drink and eat, you don't realize like all the fucking germs and shit. Like it fucking hits you hard. Yeah, we got to that conversation. I don't remember what the fuck we were talking about.
Basically just how like I remember growing up thinking that Western medicine is the only thing to go, and that the hippie shit is nonsense, like holistic stuff. But then I think back to like you bring up stuff like, well, back in the Roman times, all they drank was wine. They're so drunk. How did they get over it? Well, it's not, the wine is everything that they're drinking. Because, and this is very dumbed down, but the way that I view it is the people that survive that long, right? That long is like into their 30s and 40s. Not true, actually. But people that survive that long, generally survive that long, they've been eating the correct things, right? They're healthy-ish. But the wine, especially like the royals or the nobles, the wine they have is the purest. Right, the food they have is the purest. It's not contaminated. It's not any of that nonsense. And then any remedies that they have, obviously, it's all natural. They're not making fucking pills, and they're not making fucking. No, go ahead.
Like, to technically get into it, like they were.
They had pills back then.
No, they bled people for ghosts.
Okay, no, they did some retarded shit. No, dude, they burnt people because they thought they were witches. All right, like they did some real
with that.
They did some real stupid stuff.
You're a witch. You burn at the stake.
Yeah, free thought, fucking haram. So I think there's that video of those dudes over in I think it was like in Syria where they're beating up the fucking musical instruments.
Yeah, bro, like because the fucking drum and the piano were like fucking haram.
Because they're haram. But anyway. That's my theory, is like they didn't have the microplastics, they didn't have high fructose corn syrup, they didn't have
just all the shit,
like all the processed sugar that led to all of that.
Yeah, but no, I get it. Like, and like I was thinking about the medicine, like, oh gosh, like how your parents, like whoever, always push like Western medicine, like, oh yeah, you can't, homeopathic medicine's stupid. You need to be taking fucking like, if you have a problem, you take a fucking drug, and A solves B, and they weren't wrong, but then like. As data comes out and like we've had these medicines for such a long time. People aren't A, using them right, or B, we've just been using them for so long, and they're in all our foods and shit, like chicken. Like, there's so many antibiotics in, like, fucking our food these days that our bodies just get used to it. Or not our bodies necessarily, but the bacteria in our bodies that is normally used to fight, like, we use antibiotics to fight, they're now evolved past the point where, like, antibiotic doesn't fucking, like, touch them. Which is how we ended up with super. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he's doing outside.
Okay.
Dude. Okay, we're taking a break. Time out.
Yeah. He was power washing his dirt bike, folks.
Yeah. Okay, now we're back.
Okay.
Data. So now that all the data comes out, like, people, really not taking their antibiotics correctly. So when a doctor prescribes the antibiotics, as I'm sure most people know, they just prescribe you a certain amount for a certain amount of days. Like, take 3 pills a day for the next 10 days or 12 days, whatever, 2 weeks. Sorry, there's also a bunch of stickers in my socks now because we have to move it. But a lot of people, they take it and they start feeling better. They're like, oh, okay, I guess I'm done taking. I feel better, so I don't need to take the rest of this medication. Which is very wrong.
Right.
Because now you haven't killed all the bacteria that you were trying to kill, and now that bacteria has a chance to get used to the fucking to the antibiotics.
Yeah.
Basically, has a chance to, like, adapt and evolve. Literally survive, adapt, and overcome.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the bacteria does.
Yeah.
And that's how we end up with super gonorrhea, because gonorrhea is a super...
Right.
it's a super prevalent STD.
Right.
And so people don't take the whole antibiotics that doctors get for that. And so, of course, like, what's the first thing that's going to become a super bacteria? An STD.
An STD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where was it? In fucking Austria.
Yeah.
Yeah, Austria. Like, probably fucking Holland. Like, red light district, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well, because even when,
places.
like, it was funny, dude, because I think about it sometimes. And I wish, like, I couldn't have because I was in a relationship at that point. But, like, at least I wish I would have taken advantage and just, like, walked down the street to see it. Because when I spent a week in Germany, we were in the fucking, like, hospital hotel the whole time. But going, like, you couldn't really see it, but, like, you knew where it was. Right next to that hotel, or, like, the lodging in Ramstein that we were in, there was a whole fucking district of bars and strip clubs.
Yeah.
And that's all it fucking was. And we went to one on the very edge of it. Because there was 2 bars here, and then made, like, a turn, and it went all the way down. And a couple of us, like, fucking left and got, like, a warm beer. That was so fucking good, dude. Like, the warm beer in Germany.
I'm sure.
Oh, it was so fucking good. But, I wish, like, part of me wished I could have taken advantage of that, and the other part was like, guilt complex. But, but, like, yeah, I think about shit like that in Europe, where, like, they're so much more lenient about, escorting prostitutes, just, like, sex work in general. Like, of course, that's where it would
one
start.
Of the oldest, if not the oldest professions, is sex work.
That's what it's called. Yeah, the old profession.
Yeah, it's the oldest profession, and, like, so obviously the first super bacteria is going to be
would start there.
STD.
So I want to pick your brain about that, because that's actually, like, I don't really go into pods, as you know, like, with a set of questions or anything, but
Yeah.
I want to pick your brain about. But to reel this all the way back.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the one thing was recruiting. Your retention is fine. Like, I'm sure people quit. I'm sure people, and obviously people retire.
One or two, but out of the amount of people, like, we have a lot of people retiring. But so I think a lot of the huge problem is there wasn't a lot of, like, active recruitment, because the huge mindset with most fire departments, if not all fire departments, is that we're not looking for you to join the department. You should be asking us. Like, you should be coming to us.
Right.
Like, humble, like, let me join your department.
And I wish, and I kind of figured that's what
like
it was.
Like the opposite of the military almost.
Yeah.
Like, you're not having recruiters knock on your door, be like, hey, come join the fucking Marine Corps, the Navy, or the Army. Like, no, like, if you're not actively trying to seek to get into the department, our department, any department, we don't want you.
See, and I wish we were older so we could have experienced a lot more of the world pre 9/11, because what are all the images that you see from 9/11? It's firefighters.
Yeah.
It's only firefighters. And I'm not saying, like, that's the biggest PR boost they've ever gotten, but, like,
No, it is. I could just be real.
yeah, like they got a lot of just, like, great light shine, because they did amazing things. and they also lost a lot. Like they lost a lot of lives there, and so
dude, 9/11 was a shit show. Like for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But like, Lord forbid there's a fucking terrorist attack now. But like, terrorist attack now, like there's things set in place for that now. Like we have, oh my god, yeah, someone's gonna kill me from forgetting the name of it. But basically it's a national system. Oh my god. IFSTA or some shit like that, or
what does it do?
it's a national system. So like no matter where you go, every fire department should have the national system in place. So if like we go, like there's a big terrorist attack or something like that, and we have units going to the location to provide aid or support. Not everyone's not running around with their fucking heads chopped off. Like, oh, what the fuck are these guys doing? What the fuck are those guys doing? Like, no, there's a system in place. We have someone in charge, and it trickles down. It's like basic command structure.
Because for people who haven't like looked at what happened during 9/11, with the exception of the firehouse that was literally across the street from the World Trade Center, the New York government and New Jersey had to like scramble to figure out who to dispatch where. I remember
a lot of the issue is what a lot of the issue was too, is people that saw it, like obviously in your firehouse, oh shit, let's go.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. What happened was people just dropped. They're like, well, we're fucking going.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck. We're going.
Well, and I think
so when everyone shows up and no one knows what the fuck's going on, it's a shit show.
Well,
inside
then
you have people going inside. Like, who the fuck's in there? Who the fuck's not?
And all their communication went down inside.
Yeah, like there's no fucking radios suck back then. Like
they had this super high tech system that was built to go through like a certain amount of like a lead protection, and it was like lead and oh my goodness, I forget what it's called, but it's like no. It's like if a lot of like you say, like in a concentrated area, there's a lot of radio waves going through,
like electro frequencies.
Yes, a lot of frequencies.
Yeah.
This one was meant to penetrate all of it.
Okay,
but it went down,
like gamma radiation.
Not like the Hulk, but the shit went down.
Yeah, it's
like
their high tech storm.
Their high tech shit went down, and I think inside like 45 minutes they had set up 3 different like emergency headquarters, and the third one I think was put in Greenwich or something like that. But it was a mess. So I'd imagine that's why that system got put in place now.
Yeah, it's a huge national system now. Like everyone's should be pretty much on board with it.
But anyway,
everyone has to be nationally certified.
But the reason I bring up 9/11 is because I would like to see what the public perception, the inner morale of the different the different like firehouses were pre
cocaine strippers and fucking. No, I'm not even joking.
For real?
Yeah, like even like the dude pre 9/11, dudes were snorting like lines of coke and just going into fires. Yeah, like what the, and then like bringing like Monte Cristo.
Well, I don't know.
Monte Vista Firehouse, Monte Vista Bar that used to be a firehouse.
Oh, so that was actual. That was actually a firehouse.
Yeah, that used to be.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it used to be a firehouse. I forget what station it was, but yeah, that's why it's called Monte Vista Firehouse, because it used to be a firehouse, and then like they used to bring like there was like an underground stripper ring in the basement, which is why they closed it down. Yeah,
there were strippers
and it was growing in size. Like department was
so that fire department had strippers at the bottom of the firehouse.
Pretty much. Beautiful. Yeah, it was like dude. It was fucking. It's wild. The stories people guys tell you, dude. Like fucking crazy wild. Cocaine, strippers, drinking on the job. Like didn't give a fuck. Like there wasn't any there was no regulation, right? No like hardly any, because like no one really cared. Like they're like, oh, they do their job, they get it done.
Yeah.
No one really dies. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, they'll let them be. And then 344 dudes died, and you're like, oh fuck.
Wait, when?
Well, 9/11.
Oh, okay. So that was okay. Okay.
Yeah, 343. Sorry, 343 dudes died of fire. Right. Yeah. Firefighters, and you're like, oh fuck. All right. Well, we gotta fucking fix shit. You know, we have to care now. Like we have to make fucking systems in place to prevent this again.
Okay.
Which, anyways, so back to that. So like, 9/11 is like a huge recruitment boost, right? So now if you want to be if you're in the department, you're like, oh fuck yeah, like I'm in the department, right? I'm in the fire department. That's actively fighting fires and shit. No fucking FDNY, but right?
Yeah. Oh, it was over
hat
here.
fell off.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, he was still huge boost. Like, so you have thousands, like now you're having 5,000 applicants fucking applying to the fire department. And as time goes on, like that kind of gets less and less, right? Because job opportunities open up, college gets pushed more, so blue collar jobs kind of become less, right? Parents start telling their kids, Parents start telling the kids, hey, you need to go to school, you need to go to school, you need a degree. Okay, with someone degree, why would you want to be a firefighter, right? Honestly, that's what you wanted to be since you were a kid, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I think it just kind of, it was that thing for a long time of like, if you didn't know, especially, and it used to be back in the day, like if you didn't know somebody, you weren't going to get in the department. It was the good boys club, and if you didn't apply 6 times and know somebody that was in the department, you were not going to get in. Like, guaranteed not going to get in, or you're going to have to apply like 10 times. Like, yeah, there's dudes like I know personally that haven't even been in long that had to apply like fucking like 5 or 6 times to get in.
Jesus.
Which is a long process. Like, applying to the department is like,
I remember you going through it.
it's like almost over. It's over half a year process.
Yeah.
Like, I applied, like in October, or maybe even earlier than that, like September, October.
It was earlier because it was in
August.
It was in 2019.
I had applied in August,
Yeah.
and we didn't start till January.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fucking long time.
And you were kind of expedited too, from what I remember.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. Like,
Yeah.
for us, it was quick because they're trying to get classes through now. Because
Well, you got in at like the best time because it was quick enough to where the numbers were falling, but then you didn't really get in when there was COVID because you graduated in February, right?
no, we graduated in July. So we graduated
What?
like middle COVID. Like, we were in the academy when COVID started. Yeah, it was fucking wild. It was like, dude, it was like the academy was the Twilight Zone, and we come off the hill and go down back to like reality, and it's like, what the fuck is happening? We're just up there getting fucking wrecked, dude. We're just getting wrecked all day.
I'm just trying to think about
We're
when
in our
I
own
had
world.
to DD you from the party. Was that in July?
What party?
Or your like your celebration that you were finished with the academy. That was in July.
Well, it was May. Like, we finished the academy in May, but I didn't because I had to go through the basic class.
That makes more sense.
Because they didn't accept my other credentials.
Okay.
So I didn't get out to the field till July 4th. July 4th was my first official cycle out in the field.
Okay, that makes
but
more
we
sense.
graduated May 20.
Yeah.
May, sometime in May.
But you got in like right before real COVID regulations started getting put in place.
Yes and no. Yeah.
Well, to the
pretty
point
much.
where they were. I just heard that in both Albuquerque and Bernalillo County Fire that they were like shortening classes, and that
Oh yeah, we got away before that.
applications were getting put on hold.
So we were at that point during COVID that, like, if someone got sick, they're like, don't get sick because you're gonna get fired.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even kidding. Like, they're like, we're not gonna stop the class for you.
right.
This ball is rolling.
Yeah.
We're almost done.
Yeah.
You get sick, you're out.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have to restart.
Right.
Like, we're not gonna put and then like the classes after us, like if someone got sick, everyone had to take 2 weeks off. Everyone in the academy had to take 2 weeks off. The staff, the cadets.
I wonder if that 2
everybody.
weeks got paid.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks paid.
Oh, that's good. Well,
Which
because
is also glad why I got in before that, because they made them do it on Zoom, and they fucking PT'd them in their fucking houses on Zoom. Yeah, like, you know that Whoop band I have? Yeah, like, that's how I found out about it, because they got a sponsorship from Whoop to do the academy, so all the cadets had to wear them, so they could track their recovery and their strain for the day. So they could track how hard they were trying while they were actively fucking PTing the shit out of them. Yeah, beating the shit out of them in their fucking own homes. That's fucking disrespectful right there, dude. Your safe space no longer safe, bitch.
So you've got this poor guy fucking getting smoked over Zoom, and then his like wife or girlfriend is like making
Or his fucking poor child,
making
dude. Yeah.
spaghetti in the background, holding the baby. Like, okay, well, whenever you're off your Zoom call, we have to.
Yeah, bro. So I got in before that. So
Yeah.
I got in before COVID started, before COVID was even a thing. Because we started in January, and then COVID started like what? March?
It really kicked off the second week of March.
Yeah,
That's when
March.
so
we're already halfway through the academy.
yeah,
like,
because
in March.
the European ban happened on like March 2nd.
Yeah.
And then the real like shutdowns for New Mexico started in like the second week of March.
Yeah, so that's kind of like when we were like like COVID was happening, like, oh, okay, whatever. I didn't really care because I was totally focused on the academy. Like I had my routine. Like I didn't give a fuck about everything else.
I remember, yeah.
So yeah, it was like the twilight zone, like during like middle of COVID, like March, when like we go up to the academy, everything's fucking fine, normal. Mask mandates have not been put in place yet. Obviously, like or didn't follow them. I don't remember which one.
No, they weren't put in place yet because the mask mandates didn't hit till like the end of April.
Yeah, so
because they were trying to figure out like what was happening.
Yeah, so like we'd go up there, and it was the twilight zone, bro. Like, and then you'd leave, and you're like, whoa, where the fuck is everybody? Where's all the toilet paper, bro?
I remember, dude, 'cause I was in Texas at the time. I remember, like, I got to Texas where I was staying, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to be here for a little bit, so I'm going to fucking get some basic stuff. So I was kind of taking my, what are you looking for?
Yes.
Oh,
God.
I was kind of taking my fitness seriously still, so, like, I bought some real healthy food, but I got some fucking, like, TV dinners and pizzas and shit like that. And but I was like, man, like I'm gonna get some toilet paper. Hey, look, it's on sale. I got myself some 2 rolls of toilet paper, paper towels, all that nonsense.
Ooh, I like extra stout.
It's good, right? Yeah,
it's
dog.
fucking good.
Yeah, that shit's good. So
Damn.
I remember stocking up. I mean, like, all right, I'm chilling. Literally the week after, maybe even 5 days after, is when the like toilet paper ban, not the ban, but the toilet paper like rush.
Toilet paper panic.
Yeah, the panic happened. And I remember I was taking a shit and I just stared like diagonally to where I had my toilet paper, like the packs. I'm lazy. I'm not gonna put that in the closet. I'm leaving the bathroom.
No, I leave it right next to the toilet.
Yeah, so I'm like looking across and I'm like, I have fucking liquid gold. Not liquid, I have like paper gold right there. I could sell you for like $10 a roll. Like, damn.
Yeah, man. So like, it was just crazy, bro. It was super surreal and like weird, and it kind of sucked too because like we couldn't have like a family night, and we didn't really have a graduation.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, like they were like, okay,
I remember that.
Yeah, they're like, we're at the academy. It was just the academy.
I was gonna say I had to live stream your shit. Yeah, I remember that.
And they were like, oh, congrats. Okay, go home.
Yeah.
You know, or we're starting EMS week. Like, there's no real celebration. Like, we didn't all get to go out because everything was closed. So it kind of sucked. It really sucked. That's kind of how our precedent of like everything started.
Yeah.
And then we came out middle of COVID, so everything's fucking crazy. The tension, I remember you used the perfect word, tension is palpable. Like,
that was the first podcast we did.
Yeah, the tension is palpable.
I'm not going to encourage people to listen to the older podcasts because they are so bad. But what I will say
it really reins it in
is that's a good callback.
Yeah,
so episode 1,
powerful.
we talked about how, because at the time you were living at the apartment that you had off, right across from Comic Warehouse, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Manoa and Wantabo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eubank.
No,
right?
I lived in Manoa and Wantabo.
Because you were up a little bit, yeah.
I was up from Comic Warehouse.
Yeah.
Comic Warehouse was down the street.
Right.
Yeah.
So, because I was asking you that because this is like, because we started the podcast in October. And so we were talking about how, like, you know, we just gotten done with the George Floyd riots. A couple of them were still happening in like Seattle and LA. Like, they never really stopped because it was still 2020. And it was like, well, you're a fucking public servant. You go to a call, you go to an emergency. Is there like tension there? Because like you're not a cop. They're not angry at you, but you wear a uniform. And what was? And I think about what your response a little bit, like every now and again, because you brought up how you were walking back to your apartment and you were still wearing your uniform as a firefighter, and it was like the conversation these people were having quieted down, and someone's like, "Oh no, it's a firefighter."
We're it was my neighbors.
Yeah,
they were having an argument or something, and they got real quiet. And then as I was walking back to my apartment, I was like, "Oh, you know, he's a firefighter. Hey, how's it going, man?" You know, and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, they don't like cops. Fuck." It was like, "Oh yeah, I just got back from the fucking academy." Or no, I just got back off work or some shit. I don't remember what it was, dude. But yeah, it was like, because I was middle probation, so I had to wear my badge shirt everywhere. But yeah, to tie that back into recruitment, yeah, so like we came in pre-COVID, and I think COVID ruined a lot of it too, recruitment. But like how you have the military like recruiting everywhere, like and constantly like knocking on doors and messaging people and being at high schools and stuff. You don't see that with like local departments, which really, I mean, you see it a little bit more now, but you didn't see it like when I applied. Like I totally forgot being a firefighter was something you could apply to do. To like literally the last day application was closed.
right.
So like, That first of all is a huge problem, and like that like this whole fucking like idea of like an active department that knew it saw its like recruitment numbers declining slowly should have foreseen this problem, like this recruitment issue, 5 years ago, 5 years before, and they should have been way ahead of it. Because we're not FDNY, we don't get 10,000 applicants a year.
Yeah.
Right? People aren't on wait list for 5 years to 10 years. Like they're not on wait list for that long. Like we're not that big of a department.
Right.
We don't have that kind of workforce here / like really just like work mentality here necessarily for the people that are qualified anyways. So like now you see like qualification, like really it started with my class. We were the first class that they didn't require an EMT basic license to apply to the academy. They were going to give it to us because like recruitment was so bad. They had nobody recruit. Like I think we had like 500 applicants, maybe a little bit more, like something like that. But like compared to the people that had like 5,000 on their applying, like you're competing with 5,000 people compared to like my 500. And now we barely have enough people applying to fill the class. So if you apply, you're gonna get in the academy.
And what's the maximum in a class?
Right now it's between like 35 to 45.
And how many people are in a single station?
A single 6, and then multiples like up to 12 to 13.
And how many shifts a week?
3. So
That's a lot
we're
of people.
roughly we're at like 700, a little over 700 personnel.
So you need like,
and that's including support.
so per station you need like 18
support,
people a week.
admin, alarm room, dispatch, stuff like that.
Oh, so you could go to the fire academy and go to dispatch.
Not right away, but yeah. So like you go to the fire academy, finish probation, and then like you can apply to go to the alarm room, and that's dispatch. Or you can apply to go to
So let's average.
tech.
Let's average people, right?
HARP
So
program.
all your support that you just listed off.
Yeah.
Let's say you have a maximum of 12 actual firefighters in a station on one shift.
Mm-hmm.
You probably have 5 admin assigned to them, 4 admin assigned to them, average.
I mean, yeah.
So
Yes.
so that brings it up to 17 people a shift.
At that specific station.
And is it 2 shifts a day or 3 shifts a day?
Well, one shift every 48
Oh,
hours.
because you're doing 48 hours.
So we have a 6-day work week. Yeah, we have 3 shifts, A, B, C.
Right.
And then we're 48 hours, so we do 2, 2, 2. So
Okay.
we have a 6-day work week. So every week our shift goes back a day.
Okay.
So like this weekend, I was supposed to be working Saturday, Sunday. Next week I'll work Friday, Saturday.
Right. Okay.
So like it just, not everyone's working the same days every week, which would fucking suck. Yeah, so like there's not a like we're I think after this academy class graduates, we'll be like fully staffed finally, which we haven't been in like fucking like apparently like 10 years.
Well, nobody's. Well, that's the thing too.
Well,
Is
like
like
5 years.
nobody's
Sorry.
fully staffed.
No, which is it's crazy to ask for. Yeah, so it's a huge recruitment issue of like the department just having that mentality, and it still does. You see a lot of the veteran guys like, oh fucking this guy doesn't want to be here, fucking leave,
Right.
It's like, well, dude, you bitch about getting forced overtime, and then like we'd constantly treat people like that, like people that want to join like that, like nobody wants to join that,
So
especially nowadays. It's hard to find.
I was gonna say like today the culture has definitely changed amongst people our age and because we're 25, 26, and then you take it down another 6 years and you say like 18 to 20, right? You have to be 18 to join the fire department, right?
Yeah, it used to be 21. Now it's 18.
Now it's 18.
18
Interesting.
GED high school diploma. That's
So
all you need.
when did it go from 21 to 18?
I think like 2 classes. No, my class.
Interesting.
I think.
Okay.
No. Maybe the class before mine. I think it was 1 or 2 classes before mine. They lowered the age to 18, and then my class was the first to. You didn't have to have a basic license to apply.
Okay. So the education stuff, I could see them kind of lowering down. I think education.
Because you needed 18 college credits of anything
Okay.
to apply.
Because I think like if you want to be a fucking like a doctor, a lawyer, a scientist, shit like that, you need your degree. You need to get your schooling, like your formal. But if you're gonna be, and I've never been a cop, I've never been a firefighter, I've never been an EMS, but I'd imagine if you are teachable, you can go through just about any class they have available. I'm not saying you could get retards that are really willing to go, but like
So
if you're willing to learn and you have a basic intellect, you should, whether or not you have a fucking high school diploma or a GED, like I don't really think it matters.
So well, and the reason I get why they had that in place, like, hey, we need to see that you have like you can go to school,
Like
and
the
learn.
ability to learn.
the ability to learn. Because if you don't get flunked out of the first test, you have to apply, which is just really basic math, English comprehension, and like math.
Because you guys have like exactly you have an entry exam.
Yeah, it's an entry exam, which is like, it's not terribly hard, but people still flunk it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
Well,
if
again-
you haven't done that shit in years,
Well,
it's hard.
we're also the 51st in education.
And we're the 51st in education, and so like
Yeah.
I get why they had that because the academy like information, none of it is difficult to understand, but there's just so much of it.
Yeah.
Because you're taking, I don't know, man. Like you're taking a test every week on a different subject, and you have to remember the test before that, and before that, and before that, and before that. Like, you have to remember everything. It's just it's a lot of information to digest, and you're doing that for fucking 18 to 20 weeks straight.
And how much of that
till the end?
How much of that are you learning? Do you think is actually applicable to the day-to-day job?
Like 90%.
No shit.
Yeah.
Like it's actually things you need to use.
Yeah. Okay, maybe like 85. Definitely 80 to 100.
That's
Like,
better
it's-
than I expected.
Yeah, because it's all applicable. Like you see it. Like if you don't see it, you're gonna see it. And it's all fire. Like that's all it is for 18 weeks. You're just learning about fire. You're learning about flow path, you're learning about thermodynamics, like how fire works in a building, how fucking why you get fucking backdraft and fucking these explosions, and you learn all that shit. You learn about the different like kinds of foams and extinguishers, shit you use. And if you don't use it, we don't have it, basically. And so a lot of it's like maybe not like necessarily field applicable, but it's like you can apply it to the job. Like you won't necessarily do it, but you can if you wanted to.
It's in your toolbox.
It's in your toolbox.
Like,
yeah.
these are things you need to know.
It's a really good tool to have
if it really goes down.
Yeah, like because like let's say you do have that fire and you remember that one thing, you're like, oh fuck, okay, let's use this instead, so it doesn't fucking kill us.
Yeah.
Or it just depends. And then like and that's what probation is too. Is like it's a year of relearning and making sure you remember all that stuff because you're gonna get tested on it. And at the end of the year, you get tested on all that shit you learned in the academy, and then everything else you've been learning too.
And so break down probation, because I feel like a lot of people, when they think about probation, whether it's fire or for police, any sort of police service, it's just you're getting fucking abused and you're getting treated like a bitch.
So
and-
before I even go into that, so I'm gonna finish this recruitment issue.
Yeah.
Another issue is pay. I was paid like $10 an hour. No. 14. I think 14. Started at 12, went up to 14 in the middle of the academy. It was $12 an hour. We started at like, and so you're getting paid $12 an hour to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, depending where you live, drive to the academy, get your ass beat all day for fucking 8 to 10 hours, leave home at 5, 6 o'clock at night, go home, spend all night studying, copying your notes, go to bed, wake
That's
up,
what's crazy to me.
and then you have to make the mental decision to go do that again.
Exactly. That's what's crazy, because the live-in, like with FORAT, right?
Yeah.
Because the staters, they have a live-in academy. I fuck with that.
Yeah, it's easy.
I get that.
Dude, a live-in academy is the easiest shit.
But like the go home, because I feel like on paper, people are like, no, going home is great. You get to decompress, you get to whatever. It's like, okay.
Fuck no.
But you also get like,
I hated that.
maybe that's just our personality. Where
Dude,
it's like, I need
hated-
to be super into the thing to get it done, not get like, oh, I'm doing it for, 8 to 10 hours a day, but then I get to go home and relax and then go get out of the relaxation.
no.
Like, because we're both like that, though.
Yeah, like, dude, that's my mentality. Like, if I live there, like, you're just always in that mindset. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I can't leave.
Well, yeah.
I can't leave. Like, even if it's dropping a request, you're just like, hey, I can't leave. Like,
Yeah.
I'm stuck here. Like,
It's-
this is it.
Your
This is it now.
Your quickest way out is graduation.
Yeah, the quickest way out is just to finish.
Yeah.
But with like the fire academy, bro, that was the roughest part. Is every morning you had to wake up, bald as fuck, make that mental decision to be like, I'm gonna go get my ass chewed out, beat, yelled at, fucking screamed at, fucked with for 10 hours to get paid $600 a paycheck. fucking A, dude.
Well,
Let's
'cause I
go
remember-
do it.
Because I remember on your off time, because you get weekends off, right?
Yeah.
We
had to have mandatory study groups, like at least on Sundays, or
Right.
Saturdays. Yeah.
Right, we had your weekends off, but I remember when I would visit, you were always wearing a beanie because you hated being bald.
I fucking hate being bald, dude. I'm ugly bald. I'm not good looking bald. My head is ugly, bro. I look like Megamind.
That was me in high school, dude. That
Bro,
was
like,
trust me.
I hated being bald, bro. I hated being bald. It's the worst. Yeah, so like, and eventually you find a system that I'm gonna derail back, but like you find a system that works. Like,
Yeah.
For me, the fire chief right now for us, Emily Hadamio, she's fucking great, by the way. She came and talked to us, and she was like, "Hey, this, person to person, I'm gonna have a conversation with you. The academy sucks. Like everyone fucking knows the academy sucks. Probation sucks. Here's how I did it." And she talked about how
This is while you were in the academy.
in the academy, yeah. She came and talked to us because she's a nice lady. She used to be a teacher before she was in the fire department. She's generally just a really good person. And she came and talked to us, and she was like, "This is how I did it, it's not everyone, but I took a day every Friday when I got out of the academy. That was my day. Like I didn't do anything. I didn't have anything to do at the academy. I got home, didn't do my notes, didn't study, didn't do anything. I just decompressed that Friday night." And that's what I did. And I was like, okay, cool. And that's what I started doing was on Friday nights when I get out of the academy, I didn't care about anything else. I got home, changed, took a shower, fucking sat down on my couch with my fucking takeout food, and I zonked out playing video games or watching movies, threw a fat fucking lip in, dude, and just played video games, right? Like I fucking, Springer, I'm on.
No,
David, let's play fucking Call of Duty.
That's how you beat The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, really, yeah. Like that's what I did.
I remember that. Yeah.
I zonked out, played video games all Friday night. Slept in a little bit Saturday. Got up like fucking probably around 8 or 9, which is sleeping in. Not anymore. Like sleeping's like fucking 2 in the afternoon for me now. But yeah, like I'd get up Saturday morning and I'd start studying and I'd copy my notes. Like that's what and then I get back in the groove. Like okay, we're gonna ease back into it. Sunday study group, getting back into it hard, studying that night, getting all my shit ready. Finishing my laundry.
It's fucked up.
Just mentally preparing for the next week. But again, you just to mentally make that mental decision to go do that for $650 a paycheck when you could go work at Chick-fil-A for $17-18 an hour.
Well, but you know what that sounds like?
What?
That schedule sounds like exactly what we had to do at NIMI.
It really was, dude. Like it was, which is probably why it was a little bit easier for me because like
I was gonna say, did you find a little bit of comfort in that?
Yeah. Okay. So I have a huge issue though, where I like it's like something I still struggle with all the time is routine. Like if I'm given a routine, like where I have to make one like forcibly to survive, pretty much. Like the academy, like the academy again is like it's your own decision to do it. But
I was gonna say, so what happens? Because like you're talking about routines. What happens if you show up late?
I mean, you're either fired.
But they have the ability to drop you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So
and you're out of a job. Effectively, you're out of a job.
We'll circle back to this, like back to probation. But from the minute you sign up, you're a city employee, but you're an at-will employee. So at any point from the start of the academy to the end of probation, till you're off probation and a union member, you are an at-will employee, and they can fire you for any reason, anytime, for no reason at all.
Okay, I think that's an important point. Your
job is always on the line.
So you need to follow that schedule, and you need
to follow the schedule.
Yeah, which is good. I don't say that in a derogatory sense. Like that's good.
No, yeah, so
that builds discipline.
And that's just a huge issue with me. Like if I'm given like a routine, like hey, we're gonna do this, do that, blah 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 blah. Like NIMI.
Well, I was gonna say you got to think about your background, right? Like you have NIMI and you have like other things going on in your life. Like if you didn't, like a lot of people that join the fire academy. Maybe not a lot, but some people that join the fire academy, they don't have a background of discipline like you do.
Most people that join a paramilitary style thing have no background with paramilitary anything.
Exactly.
So it's a huge shock.
So they need it though.
It's a huge shock to them. Yeah. They need it. So like, not necessarily need it, but
I'd say so.
It's totally different. But yeah, sometimes it's needed. You find a lot of those guys that fucking suck at the start, and then eventually they pick it up because they finally understand. Like, we're a team.
In what instance do you add discipline to somebody's life that it doesn't make it better? And a lot of times it is needed.
Gambling.
A discipline will show you that you don't need to fucking do gambling to make yourself happy.
What if your discipline was to be better at gambling?
That's bad. It's the meme. It's the meme where the guy's like with a pickaxe. If you would have just kept gambling, it's all the fucking gems.
No, but yeah, sorry, but yeah, no, you're not wrong. Like, there's no point in anyone's life that more discipline is bad, for the most part, like in general. But yeah, and so again, like you're now asking 18-year-old, 19-year-olds these days who don't. I don't want to say don't have a work ethic, because a lot of people do still. But it's just hard to see that in the world these days, where like we have fucking 18-year-old, 14-year-old TikTokers, influencers.
That's the
making
issue.
Millions of dollars.
That's the issue.
Doing
Is
shit.
I don't think it's the people that are young. They don't have the work ethic or the ability to have the work ethic. It's the fact that they see this. They see the grass is greener. That's all it is.
Oh, this is a great intersection to my next topic. I was talking about the new.
It's just like the grass is greener. Why is it that these people are making this kind of content and they're doing all this and it seems so easy and they have all their brand deals, they're making all this money, and I get it. Well, and I get it. Like, but what I would push back on that is, like, personally speaking, I work a full-time job and I do this and I have other commitments. Like my schedule is packed. Like, that's why I have to have Excel spreadsheets and I have my fucking planner, and like I literally have to plan out like who I'm going like to spend time with and when. Like, I have to fucking do that. And I can only speak from my experience of like doing episodes when I do them, and posting and like making reels. Like, it takes time. Like, it does take time to make content like that. And what I really loved, to be completely honest, is how transparent someone like Mr. Beast is. Because he went on a couple podcasts, and he's talking about all the fucking production he did, like, even before he started doing, like, the multi-million-dollar, like, Squid Games, like the Squid Game remake, or all the other high-production shit that he does. It's like, we're going to eat a $2 slice of pizza, and then we're going to eat a $50,000 slice of pizza, right? Yeah. Like, it takes, like that costs a lot of money. But like the beginning stuff that costs so much to do, and I think that it's just the it's the shininess, I guess, of like, oh, I just have to record a video and now I become a millionaire. Like, that's not what it is. But people don't really think about that. And you think about the people that are thinking like that, and again, they're between the ages of like 15 and 20. And I remember myself at that age, and I was a fucking retard. Like, you know what I mean? So I would have, like, I think our generation,
strict diet of bro science and fucking creatine.
Well, our generation, we barely made it out. Like,
of that, no.
Could you imagine being 5 years younger and
YouTube was big. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, you're good.
YouTube was big, but you're like, I can't do that.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
Like
but
that.
TikTok wasn't there yet.
Yeah,
TikTok's the big one. Aside from all the Chinese and the nonsense, but the accessibility of it.
Yeah,
that's what makes it. And dude, I swear, like, my content isn't the best, like, reels wise. Like, I don't put a whole lot of thought into it. I literally just go into my editor and I'm like, they said something really great, but I don't know how to like do it. I don't have a production team that does like the zooms in and all that nonsense. But like, even with my stuff, I posted like my first 3 reels or whatever on TikTok, and it got like a few thousand views. But then my next one's got like 200, 500, 1,000, a couple hundred, couple thousand, and it kind of like, so it keeps you biting from the apple. I showed you the YouTube shorts.
Yeah, it does. It's the algorithm.
It's the algorithm that fucks with you. And it's like, oh, it's like that. Like, what was that insurance company that had the commercials? Like, oh, you almost got it.
Oh, you got to be quicker than that.
Yeah.
Is it Allstate?
I think so. I think it's that or Progressive, but it's the you're chasing the purple dragon.
Yeah, you're chasing the purple. Wrap that back again the 100th time. Back to recruitment. Yeah, so like it's
hard to get people that have.
It's hard to recruit people to do a blue collar job these days, just in general.
But you brought up a good point earlier, because our parents kind of told us that college is the only way, and I wouldn't say they demonized professions like police officer, firefighter, electrician, or plumber.
But they demonized blue collar work in general.
My
parents did. My dad was like, "Don't go to school because you don't want to do what I do. You don't want to be a truck driver."
Well, that's the other thing. But with truck,
he makes good. He made good money.
he makes
Good
good
for being a
money.
truck
But if
driver.
you
It's
look
hard
at,
work.
but if you look at the lifestyle of a truck driver,
It's terrible.
I'll be honest, dude. Like they make good money, kind of. Because you know what's really fucked up? So I really considered at one point being a truck driver. Like I actually kind of, and I spent like a week looking into it. Not a lot of time,
Yeah.
but like a week looking into it. And what I found was that unless you become a truck driver for a bigger company like your father is, or like
Or a union-based company, basically.
or a union-based company, because what the misconception is, it's like, oh, you make your own hours, you do this, you do that. But a lot of these people, especially post-COVID, where they own their own truck driving company, which really means they own 1 to 2 rigs at most. When you factor in the cost for fuel, the cost for lodging, the cost for food, and then you're like your personal costs at home, because again,
Insurance, family.
exactly, because everything you have at home plus your business. Dude, there was one person or like one family where was a husband and a wife, and they had their own truck driving company, and they had one rig. And they were making, quote unquote, on their contracts, on the deliveries, they were making like 225, 200-ish a year.
Yeah.
Right? But after all of their expenses, they were maybe making like 32 grand.
Yeah. It's yeah. So unless you work for a company that's union based, it's
Yeah.
a national company, really. It's and then again, like my dad, my dad demonized it, my mom demonized
But
it.
again, even if you're with like a unionized company or a big company, you're away from
Yeah.
your family a lot. You have a huge risk. Because remember, this was like in 2021. Remember when I like where the hospital I went to, they accidentally diagnosed me with PE. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Obviously that got cleared up. I didn't have it, thankfully, but I looked into who is most likely to get a pulmonary embolism, and it's truck drivers.
Yeah.
Because they just sit and they get blood clots in their fucking legs, and it travels up to their lungs and they fucking die.
Yeah.
So like the lifestyle is shitty, and with crime going up, like I wouldn't want to be, and it's crime going up across the nation. Like I wouldn't want to be a truck driver.
No.
So I kind of get that.
Well, and then like you think about it now, and then like the idea that truck drivers going to go away soon with self-driving vehicles.
That's the thing. I don't think they are. So here's why I say that. I saw Tesla's presentation and it looks great.
It's not good though.
But that's the thing. I was reading a report. I think it was from CNET. It was either CNET or the Wall Street Journal. And they were talking about so the battery itself that they're proposing for these electric trucks, 8,000 pounds for a fucking battery.
Yeah, because they have to be able to run the distance and carry the load.
Right. So
without stopping.
So it's like, okay, how do we make that battery? And I forget what the actual like unit of measurement is for the amount of energy. It's like
Kilowatts?
no, it's something.
Joules?
No, it's higher than that. But the point is
not a
that
scientist.
the amount of energy they needed to power the fucking factory to make the one battery, when they ran that by the city, and this is in the Midwest somewhere. I forget. I wish we were kind of producing this so we could like look it up.
Yeah.
But like they ran it by the city, and it was somewhere in the Midwest. The city was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me! The amount of power you need to make this battery is more than the city requests every year." Yeah.
No, yeah, it's
But I see that and I'm like, okay, like that's like the fucking that's like the like to dumb it down, that's the iPod, right? Like it started out really big, but then they shorten it and they put it into a phone. Like it'll get smaller over time, but it's just gonna take a lot of time.
No, so I'm not saying like it's gonna be like, oh, fucking AI driving trucks are gonna take over truck. No, because even if they do make a fucking smaller truck battery and like it becomes really efficient, it's gonna be a hard fought battle because every truck driving union, every fucking blue collar union is gonna fucking fight the fuck out of that.
And then you get into the insurance companies.
Yeah,
The insurance companies are not gonna touch that.
fuck no.
Especially because like
A fucking 10-ton truck driving down the road by itself.
and then I was trying to figure out like, well, because I was really curious because now we're getting into the elections with Robert Kennedy Jr.
Yeah.
because he is a big proponent
I'm gonna be
for
honest with you, sorry.
huh?
If you ask me anything political,
No, you're good.
I've been keeping up with it.
No, you're good. But he's a big proponent of wind and solar and not nuclear. And one of the things he brought up with nuclear was like the number one reason why nuclear isn't like a probable thing for the country is that the insurance companies aren't touching it because of how volatile and unsafe it is.
Yeah.
And I started looking into it. I was like, oh shit, yeah, that makes sense. So apply that to the electric trucking. What insurance company is going to insure a Tesla semi? None of them.
Dude, I think Dom sent me a thing the other day about a Tesla, like the electric vehicles and how much water like it takes. It's like 30,000 gallons of water
Yeah.
to put out in like a electric car. But yeah, like, it's like they're driving bombs, dude. Like, you put any water in those lithium batteries, they explode. Like they don't just like spark, like no, they fucking like
They combust.
boom,
Yeah.
and it goes everywhere. It goes everywhere and it stays on fire. Because I had a car fire like that where I had a backup lithium battery, like an extra one.
Oh, a hybrid.
It was a hybrid, a homemade hybrid, which is why it caught on fire. And yeah, it went everywhere to the house and shit. It was a fucking mess. It went from a simple car fire to a fucking like a backyard, almost structure fire because of that.
Holy shit.
Yeah, which is again why we learned like, hey, if it's a car fire like that, we have different chemicals to use to fucking
Right.
But when you don't know it, right, you just hit it with a bunch of wire. It's like, oh, it's a car fire. It's a fucking shitty SUV, right? You don't think it's gonna be a hybrid. And you boom. You're like, oh fuck.
I'm just imagining you and your buddies hitting. It's like it got bigger.
No, literally, because like for car fires, usually one guy's putting on his pack with the others hitting it, like before they then they'll switch out and put masks and packs on. So he'll hit it from a distance, and I'll come in. So he was hitting it from a distance, and I came with my mask and my pack, I was on air and stuff to get in there. And I got in there and I was fucking hitting it, got to the engine block, fucking opened it up, and boom, right in my face, like blew up sparks and shit all over my face and like all over my.
How long ago was this?
I was just like maybe a couple months ago.
Damn.
Yeah, like all over my face, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And yeah, and of course I like backed up and I freaked out. I was like, "Oh shit, guys!" Like, hey, it went over the fence into this yard that was full of weeds. So it again, simple scenario went to like could have like drastically gone a different direction. Just because of that. So that's why insurance companies won't fucking touch it. But back to demonizing blue collar jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, and it's a huge recruitment issue with like blue collar jobs in general, like, which I think is changing now because people are realizing like, hey, you don't need to have a fucking college degree to fucking
Which is also
get a good job.
Well, I think it's a mixture between people are realizing you don't really need a college degree to get ahead, but then also it's like
It's not affordable.
it's not affordable. The inflation, like the value of a college education,
Nothing.
is getting outpaced like a motherfucker by how much it actually costs.
Well, like, look at Lucy. She has a college degree.
Yeah.
Now she's going back for another one
Yeah.
because the college degree is nothing. Like, she doesn't make any money. Like, she can't make a livable wage off that.
And that's what kills me, dude, because like growing up, like my father was not a good person.
Yeah.
Not a good person. But he was smart. And I'm like remembering things that he would tell me as like a 5 or 6 year old, like that Bill Burr bit, where it's like, "Daddy puts money in the wall because he hates banks," or whatever it is.
He keeps money in the walls because he doesn't trust banks.
Yeah, exactly. And he would tell me like as a kid, and then when we reconnected briefly when I was a freshman in college, he would tell me like, you know, it's cool you're getting your associates, but by the time you're of age, you're going to need a master's. You're going to need it, dude. And this is back in like 2015 and I'm 18, 19 years old. I'm like, okay. Like Batman vs Superman is coming out next year, bro. Like, that's literally all I care about. Like, I'm trying to see that shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But now I'm like, well, I'm very thankful that I've made the connections. Like, I am a testament. Not that I make a ton of money, but I am a testament that networking, like, that's everything if you don't have a degree. Because I would not have the job that I had if I didn't network and I knew people and made friends with people and I've made certain decisions that landed me the job that I have, that I know that as long as I keep doing a good job, well, actually, compared to other people I work with, as long as I do a subpar job, that I'll still have the job that I have, right? And it's just a coincidence that I actually enjoy it. But like, as long as I'm doing a decent job, and I keep making my
At Zen sponsor me,
dude,
specifically me. Not the podcast. Me, I'm a fucking fiend. I try to quit.
Have you seen Tucker
I went from 3
Carlson's?
milligram to 6 milligrams.
Have you seen Tucker Carlson's like ad spot for Zen that he did on Full Send?
No.
I'll show it to you when we're done, dude. It's so funny. Anyway, so if it wasn't for the connections that I've made, like straight up, bro, I'm not no shade, but like, because I actually like that job, I still be working at fucking Pelicans, or I still be working as a fucking pizza boy.
As just a server in general.
Yeah, like straight up, I still would be. It's only because of people that I've met, and then like personal, like not drive, but like the initiative to like meet people and talk to people and like do well in jobs that I was underqualified for.
Yeah.
That put me where I'm at. But like,
Okay, so
because I need technically, I need a bachelor's degree to have the job that I have, which is why I'm getting underpaid a little bit. But I still have the job that I have. I still have the growth. I still have the bonuses of everybody else. I'm just paid like $3,000 to $5,000 less a year than everybody else, which is like, okay, fine. But you're right though. But to bring it back, like you need, like you're saying that she was dealing with, like you kind of need a master's degree to deal with jobs.
Yeah, that's what she's getting.
Like jobs, let's say in the 90s that you would have needed an associate's for. Or like working towards a bachelor's. That's like the unspoken thing that a lot of people don't really realize, especially when you're like 18 to 20, 21 years old, is like a job that's outside of the mainstays, like we said earlier, like a doctor, a fucking lawyer, a scientist, like mathematician, shit like that, where it's like actual like knowledge. If it's just like an admin job or like a real like office based, you could have an associate's but working towards bachelor's, and they'll hire you for a bachelor job.
Yeah.
Most people will. But those jobs that existed in the 90s, it was like, okay, associates maybe. Now that's a fucking bachelor's to a master's.
I have a conspiracy theory, but first I'm going to finish this recruitment thing. Finally finish the recruitment issue. A lot of it, I think the big issue with the departments in general is outreach.
Yeah.
To get people like, hey, interested in firefighting and blue collar jobs.
Yeah.
I'm just going to finish this whole
Yeah,
thought.
yeah, go ahead.
Finish this thing.
Yeah.
Is that, and then like, sorry, I lost it for a second there.
Are you talking about how they don't have enough outreach, not talking to
there's
people?
not enough outreach. The mentality behind it is like, we're not, and it's still like that. It's going to take a while to change.
Like, why are you interested to come to me?
Yeah, we're not going to go to you. You should be coming to us for a job.
Right.
You know? That's because the fire department is prestigious, it's an honorable job to do.
Which it is.
Yeah.
Like, not to take away from it.
No.
Like, being a public servant.
In general, yeah. You're always you're giving for scraps. Like you're giving you're doing a lot of work to get the pay we do, which is not a great amount. Like it's not a great level wage. You probably used to be great level wage, but nowadays it's fucking
inflation. Again, just the way things are.
Inflation in general, and because we're city workers, like we have to negotiate with the city, and if the city is not making money, we're not going to make money. So, but yeah, it's just it's a lot of different issues, man, that come in like to play, and then before I go to the conspiracy theory, I had a question. Okay, so like, let's say you have like 5,000 people applying all the time.
Yeah.
And the workforce that was here before pre-COVID, what happened to all those people? Because like I get like
I'll tell you,
I get unemployment like went up $600 a month for everybody.
No, I'll tell you
nationwide, but then like it went away.
Yeah. So here's what happened. So I don't the post-COVID part where it's like all that money eventually went away. I don't know that it did. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Like truly, I don't know that it did. So you have the workforce was already dwindling, right? It was already going down, but then COVID happens, everything gets shut down, people apply for unemployment, and eventually it comes up.
Yeah.
And frankly, like, I think it's a mixture of two things. People stayed on unemployment, and as a recruiter, I get it all the time, where I'll have these people where they're applying and applying and applying, and I will call them and call them and call them, and they never fucking answer. I get rid of them. I delete them from our system. Well, I don't delete them, but it's like in our system that we
put them in the bad pile.
Well, no, because like kind of, because like in our system that we use, if you apply for a job, right, it's applied external. I contact you, you don't answer. It says phone screen 1. A few more times, it goes to 3, and then I kick you out, and then it says pre-interview could not contact, and then I write in the description box, no, could not contact. That's all it is. But then I have these people that will keep applying and applying and applying. And my only thought process is, well, they are probably on unemployment and they're applying for jobs because I don't know how it is like nationwide, but in New Mexico, because I don't want to be a dick and like say her name, but like my ex from like a long time ago,
Yeah.
when she came to live with me here in Albuquerque for a little bit, she didn't have a job. So we had to get her on unemployment. And when we were doing that at the unemployment office, we had to we had to sign her up, and they gave us this like they gave us a ton of fucking documents, and in a portion of it, it told you like what are the qualifications for staying on unemployment, and one of them is you need to. I'm sure it's changed somehow or some way, but back then, this was like in 2017. Yeah, 2017. It was you need to prove every 45 days that you are applying for jobs. But the issue for that, I'll be honest, is that they never required the outcome.
Right.
Where it's like, okay, you're rejected, but why? Were you rejected because you didn't meet the qualifications, the job got filled, you applied too late, or because you didn't answer the fucking phone? So in my position now as a recruiter for my company, I see all these people coming in and they apply for these jobs and they don't fucking answer me, they don't get back to me, but their names keep popping up. And that's the only thing I have to think about is like, they're probably on unemployment, but they don't want to get off of unemployment, right? I think that's the majority of it. But again, I'd say that's like 60 to 70%. But that remaining 30, dude, those people either moved back in with their parents, moved in with friends, or they're homeless.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Like, because our homeless population has it's gone up, I think, from 19 to 21, like 2019 to 2021, I think it's gone up like something like 45%.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 40 to 45%.
Yeah, and also I answer my own question thinking about it just now listening to you. Another part of it is that people like on unemployment are like, okay, why would I go to work somewhere that I would make a little bit more, but get treated like shit?
Yeah,
is one.
Which is why you see people like not people like places like Taco Cabana, Burger King, McDonald's. Their minimum wage is in between $15 to $16.50, and I think that unemployment in New Mexico pays out like $14 an hour.
Probably.
14 or $14.50 an hour.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. And then another issue, I think a huge issue is like, big corporations in general, but like all the big corporations like Walmart and all those fucking like big grocery store chains and shit like that found out during COVID that they don't have to have a bunch of cashiers.
Yep.
Because they can get away with self-checkout.
Yep.
And then have like 2 cashiers working.
Again, Bill Burr, dude, he has a great bit about that. He's like, the person who invented self-checkout is fucking ruthless. What? You come into my store, you pick out what you want, you check out, and you get the fuck out of my store.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I'm going to go to the self-checkout and be like, oh, guess they don't want to get paid, and just leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just leave. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, it's crazy to me, man.
But I feel bad because I kind of fuck with self checkout because like the regular checkout takes too fucking long. Like I can scan my shit better. But especially like Target, no, Walmart, Walmart where they give you the wand to use by yourself. Like Costco doesn't. Costco, they gotta fuck, but they're actually helpful though. They'll come and do it for you. But like at Walmart, you can use that wand yourself, that little gun yourself. So I get my bam, pay gone.
Yeah, I get it. It's more convenient. But then I was like at Walmart the other day getting dog food.
Yeah.
I need 1 bag of dog food. The self-checkout line was like fucking wrapped around the other cashiers, and I was like, fuck this. And I stood in the cashier line, and I got through quicker.
Yeah, that's a rarity, but it happens. No, it happens. I get it.
Because like machines are fucking not working or whatever. There's one person helping like 7 different self-checkout people out, and it's fucking garbage. Now into my conspiracy theory though. Yeah. So we're going back to like bachelor's degrees.
Where do
stuff.
these people go?
Well, not well. Yeah, I mean like not really. It was before that. We're talking about bachelor's degrees and like how like the inflation of it, of needing a college education.
Oh yeah.
There was that tidbit that came out that you sent me about like over like 100 million jobs are fucking at stake because of AI.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, not to like dumb down like college degrees and education, but all these white collar jobs that require you to be at a desk at a computer or something like that
Yeah.
are gonna fucking kind of be out the door.
Yeah.
Like, basic coding's out. Like if you can, there's
It's getting to that
Chat
point.
GPT is basic coding. Like it can basically code for you.
Yeah.
Like obviously you have to have somebody still like look over it, make sure it's doing everything you want to do.
So your supervisor job is still there, but your
Yeah, but
basic
all those
run of the mill.
like even like a customer support, it's all
Yeah.
fucking computer AI generated. Like
I think Chat GPT was unexpected. I'll be honest. Like I really do think that not that it wouldn't show up, but the quickness that it did.
yeah, okay.
And I
get
think
that.
I really do think that Chat GPT was a product of someone a lot smarter than you and me that got locked up for fucking 2 years and thought, hey, me and my nerdy friends, let's stop playing Warcraft for 8 months
yeah.
and see what happens. Like for real.
No, really.
Like and what kills me, like, and I don't think about it for too much because I get angry, but I think about the 2020 election and Andrew Yang. If people listening agree or disagree with him, whatever. But what was the one thing he was talking about? It was the fucking the $1,200 a month, the UBI, the Universal Basic Income.
Yeah.
Because he was saying in 10 to 15 years, and what's funny is we brought up a little bit earlier, was a truck driving thing was going to go away. He's like, truck drivers going to be gone. It's gonna be self-driving like AI trucks. And then he went into like he was like the number one job for people or men between the ages of 18 and 42 was truck driving. The number one job for women in that same demographic is tied, and it switches between each year, honestly, is being a waitress, so the service industry, and retail. And all those things get replaced by AI. And he's like, look, we need to figure out a way to do a UBI, $1,200 a month. That's just enough to cover your rent, but it's enough to where you need to go find work to feed yourself. Okay, great. And then you get enough time to fucking go out and like pursue your dreams. And a lot of fruity stuff to make the liberals feel good. But I kind of agree with that. I agree with pursuing your art, right?
No,
like
yeah.
sorry. And then, people laughed at him, and people were like, oh, we're not going to need that, whatever. And then 2020 hit, and all these jobs got shut down, and it was like, damn. I wonder what would have happened if we had a fucking UBI. And then what was hilarious to me was before they put in Operation Warp Speed to get the vaccines going, Trump and his administration, who did they bring in to figure out what they were going to do for stimulus checks? They brought in Andrew Yang. They didn't fucking listen to him, but they brought him in. And that's my whole thing. Like, AI is coming. And the fact that we're not looking into a legitimate UBI system, it really does bother me. Like, I'm not the most liberal person in the world. I'm finding myself, like, literally as the months go by, center leaning left. I really do find myself that way.
Yeah.
But why? Like, one of the best analogies that I've found for this country is that we are a third world country. We're becoming a third world country with a first world Band-Aid. And I hate to say that, but like if things keep up the way they are, like what the fuck?
I guess it's not even really conspiracy theory because I really do believe it's going to happen in the next like 10 to 20 years. Is we're going to see a huge shift where the college education degree inflation is going to be like so bad, and AI is going to become so like prevalent that we're going to see a huge switch between like white collar jobs becoming like the high demand, like high paid, to become blue collar jobs, because blue collar jobs are jobs that like really
matter.
The
jobs that
and
matter
require somebody to do those jobs. Like even like you can be like, oh yeah, robots are gonna fucking do everything. I don't think so.
No.
Well,
because here's my thing.
It's gonna be a huge switch between brain power to manpower.
Yes.
Where you're gonna have
for
like, these
sure
irreplaceable blue collar jobs that an AI can't do, a machine can't do, and the blue collar jobs can become the most prevalent thing and the most like hopefully like higher paid job like, 'cause I'm a blue collar person, but
Well, let's think about it like this. Let's say that you own this house. Like we rent, but let's say you owned the house and me, David, and Springer rented it, right? And let's say like we were having electrical issues.
yeah,
The electrical went out, or like our plumbing goes bad, or we had the AC issue at the end of last summer, right? Let's say all that happened and you got, or like effectively you legally had to pay for an electrician, for a plumber, all that stuff. And you look at the bill for how much that charged, and let's say you have my job, you might think, hey, how much is trade school again?
yeah.
Couple $100, $500 a semester? I can get on my hands and knees with a wrench.
And most of it's fucking on the job learning.
Yeah.
It's OTJ. It's OTJ. You're gonna start an apprenticeship, and you're gonna learn the job hands on.
Yeah.
That's like 90% of blue collar. The fuck? That's like 90
Mexicans.
90.
We live in the South Valley, Albuquerque, folks.
Train horn chucks, baby.
But you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like these people with the white collar jobs that thought that back in the day that 60 grand was a good amount of money, and now it's not.
Not even close.
You know, like I only make like 47. I'm fucking struggling, and
Yeah.
I have 3 fucking roommates.
Yeah.
Like, let's look at the reality of this shit. You think I haven't looked at fucking blue collar jobs and been like, I don't really want to, but like, what if I learned it and got certified and did it like a part-time contracting thing? Like I've thought about, I don't have the time for it,
Well, dude,
but I've thought about it.
Yeah, most journeymen make like over $30 an hour right now.
Dude, okay, so
Be
here's
a journeyman. Like,
you know
yeah,
what's-
it's a process to get there.
So you know what's crazy though? So Danielle, her uncle is an electrician down at Meta.
Yeah.
Right down at the same place David works. But like, and I've seen it, bro. Like he's shown me it at like back when I went to family get-togethers. He showed me there's this website where it's this nationally used website for electricians where you can see all the open contracting jobs per state. Dude, some of these motherfuckers are paying like $136 an hour.
Yeah, dude, okay, so
Yeah.
I used to work at security for Sandia
Yeah,
for the escorting.
I remember that. Yeah.
Not that kind of escorting, but security escorting. And because most of the contractors that work on Sandia, like that do all the blue collar stuff, like roofing, elevators, like electricians, plumbing,
Yeah.
pipe fitters, they're all union based, right? So they have to have the amounts they're getting paid, or they're supposed to be getting paid, like posted, like on the boards. And I remember one of the elevator technicians, like the pay, it was like the minimum pay was like $65 an hour
Yep.
to be an elevator technician, and
Yep.
all they do is fix elevators or put elevators in.
And
there's
it's
there's
complicated.
2 people. Yeah,
It's complicated.
work.
Like it's very complicated. It's hard work, but it pays extremely well.
Fucking A, it does, dude. And that for that moment, I was like, damn, do I want to be a fucking elevator tech?
And now imagine being the individual that runs the elevator technician company.
Oh, fucking moolah, dude. Yeah, but it's fucking. It's not even conspiracy theory, really. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a switch. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna be man-based work. I don't know, man. It's not man-based. I don't fuck PC of shit, but
Well, it's
hand-based.
I think about
When
when
you get your hands dirty, you're gonna have
Yeah.
to work for it. It's gonna be hard work, but it's gonna pay.
well, I think about what's going on right now in general, stuff like this, but just in general, and how there is a huge shift happening in every facet of your life. Everything's shifting, everything's changing, and I think about I won't watch it again because it legitimately made me paranoid. But it's that video that I sent you guys where it's like everything has changed. And I really do think that, you know, if we're lucky enough to make it into our 60s and our 70s, there are going to be textbooks published where it talks about the Western societal change between 2018 and 2022.
Yeah.
And everything changed. And I really do think, like, it's, again, like, it trips me out because people call it conspiracy theories and they try to discredit it and all that stuff, but like it's coming true. I really do think that Donald Trump becoming president, acting the way he acted, and exposing in my opinion, I don't think he even exposed to half of it. I think he gave the American public like 30%. Like just a little tidbit to make you scared enough, but not to like make you go insane and cause like mass suicides. But I really do believe that he gave us enough to show like, hey, this is what actually goes on, but what you guys don't know about. This is where the money actually comes from. This is why all these things are happening. And everything that he said was going to happen under the Democratic Party has already happened under Biden. And we're barely 2 years into it. We're barely 2 years. We're just over, right? We're coming into a year and a half, or 2 years, 2.5 years. Yeah. Like it's all coming true. And I think him becoming president, whatever the mysterious powers that be, they were like, all right, let it all burn. Like for real, just let it all burn. And we're just going to try to collect for everything that we can, because when the eventual, whether it's climate crisis, whether it's the nuclear holocaust, whatever the event is that wipes out this version of humanity, we will have the resources to potentially survive it. Which is why I loved, did you watch Don't Look Up with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
Okay.
That gave me such anxiety.
I loved that movie because nobody wins. Because not only did the regular people get wiped out by the meteor or the asteroid or whatever they called it, the rich people that made it to the, huge spoilers for this movie, but the rich people that made it to the planet, like the other like Earth-like planet, they got fucking ate by the aliens or whatever. By the fucking the wildlife.
Yeah.
So it was like, all right, well they're done anyway, so fuck them. But I don't know, dude. Like I think what's going and because like it or not, Western society drives the global. How do you say it? Like the global function is driven by Western society. And the amount of divide and disconnect and I'd say like overall pain that is happening, that was, I'm convinced, 100% done by big tech and the government. That's what's causing all of the distrust. That's what's causing all of the anger on both left and right. That's what's causing, and I would say too that like there's a divide between the left and the right, but most people identify with the middle, right? They're independent, they're unsure, they think it's all bullshit anyway, which is why we have stuff like this. Long form conversation that gets chopped up into 30 to 90 seconds, so you go see the bigger episode and you hear what these people have to say. And like, not that I get paid a lot, but I get paid to fucking do this. It's fucking ridiculous. Thank you for doing it, by the way, Chop Chili. But it's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous that this is the biggest thing. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, honestly, he's talented, and I listen to him pretty much every day. But it's ridiculous that Joe Rogan is bigger than CNN or Fox, MSNBC. It's ridiculous. Like, on paper, if you were to write that down, that's ridiculous. But there's a reason for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, everything's changing. Everything is fucking changing.
Yeah. And speaking of Joe Rogan and his podcast, I sent you guys that podcast a while ago about Mysterious Universe. They talked about decivilization.
Yeah.
And like it fucking...
And Peter Zion went on Rogan.
Yeah. So, and Peter Zion's the guy. And the Mysterious Universe one freaks me out.
You know what's fucked up? That pod got deleted.
No, it didn't. It's on here. I found it.
Okay, where? It's not on Spotify.
Yeah, it is.
No. The Mysterious Universe.
Oh, I haven't.
Yeah, the Mysterious Universe podcast where they talked about his book.
Yeah.
I don't know if the platforms deleted it or the owners deleted it, but you cannot find it on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. What? It's gone. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, so for people who don't get what I'm saying, or like you haven't like listened to the pod for a while, because we brought this up the last time he came on. Mm-hmm. So there's this podcast about Peter Zion's last book where it basically broke down like what led to COVID, what COVID has caused, and basically how this post-World War II world that America created where everyone's in a world trade system.
Globalization.
And globalization, that's gone. And we're going to kind of slowly trickle back into like we do our own thing. Canada does their own thing. Mexico does their own thing. And so on and so forth across the world, especially Europe. Europe's going to become their own thing again. But...
Yeah, like the big issue is like...
it's sounding the warning bell. But that pod got deleted.
Yeah, and then the basic of the pod and what Peter Zion is talking about, decivilization, is that like it's the declining world population like of with the workforce. Basically.
Yes, that's the big part of it too.
Yeah, it's the declining like the workforce, and COVID just sped that up.
Yeah,
just showing like, hey, we don't have the workforce to fucking
fill all the jobs that we need.
Fill the jobs that we have anymore. Like we don't have the manpower because people aren't having after the baby boomers, people aren't having the children to continue filling in those workforce.
And what was
spots.
the number one reason that they didn't have kids?
Just couldn't afford it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you can't
exactly.
Like that's the number one issue. Like why people don't have kids because it's just unethical because you can't afford it. And in the world we're living in today, it's like, how do you raise a child like that? Like,
well, because you know what's fucked up too?
Holy shit!
The only people that I know, there are two categories. The only two people that I know that talk about wanting to have kids with an enthusiasm or a love for it. First category, rich people.
Oh.
Rich people. It's rich guys. Like, I'll be honest, it's like the Logan Pauls, Bradley Martins, shit like that, where they're on their podcast for long form. They talk about how bad they want to have kids. And I'm not shitting on them. I'm just calling it as a fact. And I appreciate that. I genuinely do. The second category, women who are married to rich men. Sorry. That's it. And it's, I wouldn't even say rich men. I'll bring it down. It's women who are married or involved with men who have hit their personal price point for their quality of life.
Yeah.
That's who. Everyone else, they're like, yeah, I don't want to have kids because I don't want the responsibility or maybe because I don't want to go through the birthing pain. But then also, I don't know how to provide for that kid because I know what my budget is right now.
Yeah. And you have the third option, which are the Bill Burr options. Of like, I didn't like it. You try.
Yeah. No, exactly.
My life's fucked up. You give it a shot, you know?
Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's, what were you saying though about Peter Zion and
yeah,
his
it's
book
just the
and,
changing world. And like,
yeah.
Listening to the Mysterious Universe one freaked me out because they really went into like the bad part of it. Like if the world's going to fucking change, globalization's going to fucking pretty much end. Like we're all going to we're pretty much fucked is what they pretty much ended up saying. And I was like, oh, we're totally fucked. Dude, gave me the worst anxiety and like fucking panic I've had for like years.
That's how I felt about that video. I literally watched that video I sent you at like 2 a.m. and I felt like, this
like we're fucked.
disassociation.
Like, what's the point? Like, you know, like holy shit.
Yeah.
And then after listening to the Joe Rogan podcast where Peter Zion's actually on talking about his book, dude made me feel so much better.
Yeah. But he was still kind of like the doomer speak though.
Yeah, it was doomer speak, but at the end of it, he ends it pretty much like, it's going to be like really, really shitty for the next 20 years. Yeah. But he's like, at the end of the next 20 years, I think we're going to see ourselves coming out better. We're going to be able to do more with less and just be better off.
And that's provided, like, again, dude, like, it really bothers me what's going on with Ukraine.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting to the point where it is so, like, I hate saying this. I hate it because it sounds so generic, but it's the truth. The people who founded this country revolted about a lot less. A significant amount less than what's going on.
Taxation without representation, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
which is what the U.S. is doing to their territories right now, by the way.
Yeah, quite literally. Yeah. And I think about it.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I think about it, and I'm like, okay, we're sending all these billions of dollars worth of equipment and money to Ukraine to fight this war, and we're fighting a proxy war with Russia. Okay, whatever. But it's not just that. It's everything that's been leading up to that post-Cold War, post the fall of the Berlin Wall, that leads, again, I talked about this when Edgar came on, and I've talked about this in general. I am not like pro Russia or pro Ukraine or pro Putin, but I get it. I get why he's retaliating. I get why he invaded. And we have these people in charge that are just proliferating, and they're like egging on this war in Europe because we don't have a war in the Middle East anymore, and they want to keep making money. And look, it's easy for me to say, like, how could you get corrupted by money? Because the most money I've seen in one place was $13,000. I'll be real, like 13,000. That is the most money I've seen in one place, and it wasn't the most legal money. But that's the most money I've seen in one place. And I looked at that as a 17-year-old, and I was like,
bro, the most I ever see every day is when I look at my truck, and then I remember I don't own it. I'm like, oh yeah, that was expensive, and I still don't own it.
But like, I couldn't imagine what it's like to look at a mill.
No, fuck no, dude.
You know, like what that turns on in your brain.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine what that does.
But I look at my fucking few $100s in the bank, and I'm like, I'm keeping that.
Yeah.
I need more.
No, for real.
Yeah.
And then like I look at that, and I think about that, and I'm like, I don't know what that would turn on in my brain. But again, in theory, we are supposed to be electing people into office that are better than that. But they're obviously not. And I would like to think that we're going to make it another 20 years. But I don't know what's going to happen in the next 6 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I don't know. I guess I'm pretty still optimistic. Like, I think I've just kind of accepted like the next 20 years, holy shit, are gonna just fucking suck. Like it's gonna be like this, like it is now, if not worse. It's gonna get worse, I think, before it even gets close to better. The next 20 years are gonna be fucking shitty, like really, really shitty. Like we're gonna see the economy just fucking like do its crazy shit. We're already at like the fucking debt bubble right now.
Oh, the debt ceiling.
Debt ceiling. And it's just going to get way worse before it gets better. But I think at the end of the next 20 years, it's going to be better. Like, we're going to be better off. Like, it's definitely not going to be the same. Nowhere near the same.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to be better off. Hopefully. Like, hopefully we're going to be better off than we were. And I mean that just, like, culturally and fucking economically, too. I think we're going to... And that's probably just, like, the libertarian in me. Like, just, like, you know, the government backs off, let people do their own fucking thing, like... And everyone backs off, you know, like kind of globalization, kind of like coming not to a halt, but like a real big,
near pause,
near big standstill.
Yeah,
and everyone just needs to figure their own shit out.
Yeah,
like, hey, sorry, U.S. can't fucking protect the waters anymore because we can't afford it.
But what's scary is the lack of manpower in Russia and China.
Yeah.
What I'm afraid of is just like, well, if I'm sure they know that, and they know what's going on. So it's like, what option does it leave them when you effectively have NATO pushing your borders?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Especially if the rumor's true that Putin has cancer. If he's dying anyway, we know what kind of leader he is.
Yeah,
what's stopping him from hitting the nuclear option?
Well. And just going back to the China thing, like, yeah, Putin, like, nuclear option, like, cause like he's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, why not? And you go to the China thing, and I was talking about a couple months ago when that guy came in to talk to us. Basically, Navy personnel came in and talked to us, and he's like actually part of like the mobilization stuff, and just like listening to him and about him talking about like the next 5 years, China's like at its like pretty much breaking point.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're at their point where like they either have to act now with the military force they have because they don't have the military age personnel to fucking maintain it.
Yeah, they can't.
So if they're going to do
enlisting. They're enlisting like 75-year-olds.
Yeah, they up to draft to like 75 or 70 years old. Yeah, they moved to like
and then Russia is actively in not even enlisting. They are drafting mentally ill people.
Yeah.
Like Down syndrome. People that have Down syndrome. People that have severe like almost disabling autism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild, dude. And then, like, yeah, so, like, the fear is, like, yeah, the next 5 years, they're going to do something because they have to. Like, they're making the decision, like, hey, we're going to do anything. It has to be now in the next 5 years. Because after that, like, we can't maintain what we're trying to do.
And I don't see them giving up their power.
No, that's what they actually want what they had before. Like, and I didn't honestly, because we didn't get taught this in school, but I didn't understand like what the U.S. did to China, like during the opium crisis. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
We fucking destroyed like the Chinese culture and economy with opium.
Yeah.
Destroyed it. We introduced opium. And so I kind of understand why China's like, nah, fuck that. We want our shit back.
Yeah.
Like, we want what we had before that back. I get it. It'd be like here if like fucking, I don't know, like fucking Mexican cartels got a lot more power and introduced like way more fentanyl and fucking just decimated the fucking U.S. economy and people with fentanyl.
This is what they're trying to do
like
right
the
now.
vast majority of the U.S. population, like what we did China with opium.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, okay, yeah, well now we're kind of recovering from that, and we have 5 years to get it back if we're gonna do anything. I'd be like, okay, yeah, let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
Let's fucking get it back before fucking we can't anymore, and we can't maintain it anymore. So I kind of understand where China's coming from a bit. Where they're like, hey, we want our shit back, you know?
Well, and that's the conversation that I think most Americans aren't like ready for. No. Is that look, due to our, how do I say it? Like the possibility of the quality of life here, we are still the best country to be in.
Yeah.
However,
top 10.
Yeah. However, in a lot of people's stories, we're the bad guys. We're the bad guys. Like it just got declassified that not only was it the Saudis that did 9/11, not Al Qaeda, the Saudis, but minimum 2 of those hijackers were CIA plants. Sorry! Whoops! And that's why I keep telling people, like, when 9/11 comes up, I'm like, we didn't plan it. We didn't orchestrate it. It's just like COVID. We saw an opportunity, and we took advantage.
Yeah.
And you can apply that to every other instance post-World War II that we've been a part of. Vietnam. We saw an opportunity, and we botched it, but we clearly learned from it.
Yeah.
Because look at the war on terror. Look at the war on drugs.
Yeah, because
we found a marginalized group of people that our government didn't like and beat them down.
Yeah, because
that's all it is.
After Vietnam, we're like, hey, we don't have to, like in Cold War, like really like emphasize this, like, hey, we don't have to actively draft people to go fight this. We can have proxy wars.
Yep.
We can actively pay or aid another country.
Well, and now we know
fight our fights.
And now we know that we actively have special forces in Ukraine fighting Russians. Like that is on paper now. That's in the public. We know about this.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy, man. I don't know. There's a lot going on. It's fucking crazy. Probation was terrible. Back to that. I don't want to talk about that shit anymore, dude. It fucking gives me anxiety, like out the ass.
Oh man.
Yeah, probation was shit, dude. It was fucking a year of being the fucking station bitch. Like, you're getting paid shit. You're an at-will employee, so you can't talk back. You can't do shit. Like,
just keep going. Oh, do you want to put your phone on the charger?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
I'll charge it later.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a year of dog shit. Just fucking cleaning everything, doing all the work, and then having to do your rookie book and train still. And it's garbage. It's a garbage year. It sucks. Like, you learn a lot. You make some good friends and stuff. But, like, the whole year really sucks. And everyone knows that. Like, when rookies come through my station now, and, like, I just have been off probation for a little bit. I'm like, okay, I understand, dude. Like, I get it. Like, I'm still going to, like, because I did it. This is what you should do because it looks good, and it's just what you should do as part of the job.
Yeah.
And I tell them that, like, yeah, if you need help, let me know. Like, I'll help you if you want help. Just let me know. And usually they don't, but sometimes like, oh yeah, hey, I'm gonna go do this. Like, hey, I'll go help you. I'm fucking not doing anything right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go help you clean this or do this or sharpen the tools or rehab stuff or, You know, and I always ask when they come through, like, hey, what do you need for your rookie book? What do you need to train and stuff? Because I hated having to fucking ask people, like, hey, do you want to do training with me and shit like that? It's just a lot easier when like someone actively asks.
Because you're the new guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot easier when someone actively asks you, like, hey, what training do you need?
You're such a nice guy.
I know.
You're such a nice
person,
firefighter.
dude.
Look at you. They'll put you on a fucking calendar, bro.
No. Yeah, like, hey, what training do you need, man? What do you need to do? And
Yeah.
it's been weirder now though this past few months because now I'm an upgradable driver, and I pretty much have been driving this whole time. So now I'm at that next step up, where like I'm not supposed to be doing
Yeah.
the hands-on stuff as much, and like getting the dirty work. I'm supposed to let the pipemen do that, and it's weird because I'm upgradable, so I'm not promoted. But I'm going to have the permanent upgrade probably for the rest of the year because one of our drivers promoted to lieutenant, so he's going to be out. And so I'm going to fill his spot pretty much permanently.
Okay.
And then one of the officers that's been in for a while, it's like almost 20 years. My ladder officer, like I was trying to do stuff like, you know, like I do as a pipeman, you know, like make sure the coffee's good to go and do the dishes and shit like that. And he's like, hey, bro, you need to stop. I was like, no, that's fine, dude. Like, I don't mind. Like, I'll just keep doing it. And then he actually brought me to the side and he was like, hey, you need to stop. Like, they need to learn to do that stuff, you know, like they need to be doing that stuff and learn, like, hey, they need to be maintaining what they're supposed to be doing, like the basics, like doing the dishes, make sure the dishes are done, the coffee's ready to go, everything's clean, stuff like that. You're not supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to let them do that. And it's been really weird trying to step back doing that because I'm upgradable, so I'm still technically a pipeman, so I don't want to like to look bad and not do that stuff and like really slack on it. And then be like, oh, he's fucking garbage. Like, he doesn't do anything, you know?
Yeah. Because,
like, A, I was told, like, hey, back off. But B, I'm like, I don't want to look bad and not still do stuff, you know, and not help out. You know, it's a weird, I'm in a weird spot right now with that. But, yeah, dude, being in the fire department has changed me, like, my mentality of, like, work so differently.
Yeah.
Because like the NIMI kind of like mentality, like, hey, if you can slack any chance you get, right? Yeah, shitbag. Any opportunity you get, shitbag. And you learn that with the jobs we've had, right? Like any opportunity you can get, shitbag.
Yeah.
Because fuck them.
Yeah.
And with the fire department, it's like the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Like, hey, something needs to get done, just fucking do it, you know? Because you want to be the hard worker. You want to be that guy that works hard. You want to be the person that's like, oh, hey, that guy fucking busts his ass, bro.
Yeah.
For like no reason, just other than bust his ass. And so like it's been a good change. It's still hard sometimes because it's getting that mentality of like shitbagging versus, hey, I want to be the person that does the work. I want to be the person that gets their hands dirty and, you know, works hard and stuff like that. So it's been a rough change. And I'm still struggling with it sometimes, especially now with that. What I was explaining, like having to back off now. Yeah. I was kind of feeling like I was getting in the groove of doing what I was needing to be doing and wanting to work hard. And then I'm being told to back off, and it's easy to slide back into that like shit bag. Like, they'll fucking get the fucking rookie will clean it or whatever the fuck like that. And then it doesn't get done because the rookie's doing other shit. And then it comes back to you like, oh, why the fuck hasn't this gotten done yet? Yeah. And you're like, oh fuck, I should have done that, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's been a good change in general, but it's just weird. Life's weird right now, man.
Yeah.
Can't afford anything. I want to go do stuff. I can't.
Yeah. We talked about that. Yeah.
We've been talking about earlier, like, I just been wanting to stay home because I pay for it. My rent is my subscription, and I want to use it. I told Lucy that the other day. I was like, because I was explaining, because she wants to go do that stuff all the time. Like, you understand, like, Lucy, like, fuck, man. Like, I pay for the rent. I want to use it. You know, like, I want to be at my house. I pay for the fucking Star Wars video game. I want to play it. You know, I'm gonna play it till I don't want to play it anymore. I paid for it. I'm gonna use it.
Dude, that's so fucked up. Because like, I agree. Like, I've been looking at video games as investments now, dude.
Right?
I've been like, because I was looking at like Resident Evil 4. I was like, fuck, man. Like, I pay $70 for this bitch. Like, I have to beat it. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna
finish this fucking game.
And then I looked at like Guardians, and I was like, yeah, I got it on discount, but it's still like I paid $28 for how many hours of gameplay that's guaranteed with this game, I'm going to use, because every hour that I play, I'm not buying the new Star Wars game. I'm not buying, all this new shit.
Yeah.
And bro, Mortal Kombat just got announced. I know Spider-Man's coming out. And I'm like, those are games I have to buy.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, I'll feel bad.
Oh, bro. Fucking.
So now I'm trying to figure
Who are
out
the new characters? Peacemaker, Conan, and
So right now it's rumored that Peacemaker, Conan the Barbarian, Homelander, and Omni-Man are going to be DLC for Mortal Kombat.
bro.
Yes, I'm like, fuck. So I got to figure out how to scrounge together a PS5 and fucking a deposit and rent for when we fucking leave next year.
Yeah, bro.
Hey.
Games have become hard to enjoy because they cost so much. Also, what I hate is that once games went to digital, they did not become cheaper. I hated that so much.
I agree.
I still hate that.
I agree. Well, no, because I kind of advocate for that because of how much we're learning now about the amount of manpower it takes to make these games.
No, I get it, but why didn't the price go down?
Because it's
when they
not
stopped.
Because it's not Mario anymore. No, all we found out was that we were never paying for the packaging. We were never paying for distribution. Yeah. Well, because what's funny, there was a report that came out in 2017, where it was like Xbox loses money on the consoles.
Yeah.
They lose money. They make it up on subscription and the games. And we're paying for the amount of manpower and the hours that it takes to make the games.
Yeah.
That's what we're paying for. And which I kind of get, but yeah, $70 or $80 is really starting to push me. I remember buying Injustice, the very first Injustice, and it came with the game, DLC, and a statue for like $90, $100 around there. And now all of that, but for Mortal Kombat 1, is probably gonna be like $200.
Dude, and Lucy just bought when we were camping at that cabin. She just bought Super Mario Party. It was like $70,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude,
I remember thinking like, a la verga. I remember when I fucking bought games for my DS, they were $25.
Yeah,
bucks.
I bought the newer Super Mario Brothers for me and Danielle on my Switch.
Yeah.
And it was on sale. It was like $50.
Fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah. I don't know.
Crazy expensive, man. But it's a fun game. But
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to get the boys together to play Super Mario Party because it's fucking intense, dude. I get over competitive with those games, bro.
Yeah.
Way over
Same.
competitive.
I try not to get mad at her. But I'm like, you need to fucking jump. You need to fucking stop running.
See, and we haven't played co-op games either yet because I'm scared of that.
Yeah.
I'm scared I'm just gonna get mad at her.
Yeah.
So I like the competitive ones. Like we can have the computers in the game, playing Super Mario Party, fighting against them. So I don't have to fucking just be like trying to fucking screw her over the whole time in the game. Like, fuck it, you fucking suck, loser.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't know, man.
But I want to close out
Yeah.
by asking you one question.
No.
Did you think that it was going to make it to 100 episodes? Be real with me. Did you think this podcast was going to make it to 100?
I don't know.
100 of guests.
No. 100 guests? No. 100 episodes? Yeah. I figured from the start of this, from like episode 1 when we started talking, and just the gleam in your eye of like you really enjoyed this, I figured we were going to keep doing this for a long time, if not forever.
Yeah.
Until the day you die, you were going to keep wanting to do this. I figured that. I was like, okay, it might be shitty quality the whole time or whatever, fucking $20 fucking China cameras. But I figured you were going to keep doing this for a long time. But I did not think that, especially with like the music industry and the local music guests you've had on and stuff, I did not think it was going to go that way at all. So it's been like super awesome to see like all the fucking local artists come on and talk about like how Albuquerque's growing and shit like that. I think that's been fucking amazing. I love sitting there fucking listening like these guys talk about like the Renaissance, like you call the Renaissance helping Albuquerque with fucking music and fucking art, and Albuquerque is fucking awesome. But no, honestly, I didn't think it was gonna go that way at all. Like at all. So it's been fucking awesome, dude. It's 100 episodes. That's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy cool, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun, dude. And like, I don't know. As cool as it is to talk to these new people and learning these things and all that. Like, that's why, like, I got asked, I forget what episode it was. Like, what are you going to, like, a couple people asked me, what are you going to do for 100? It's like, I'm bringing it back to the homies. Back to the homies. And, like, it sucks that, like, spring, like, the way just, like, timing worked out. Like, Springer's at work, David's busy, but, like, it kind of makes sense that if we're going to start at 1, this would be 100, this is probably 150, and if we get there far enough to 200, like, this is...
Bro, episode 1000, I'm back on, baby. Back on. You saved that for me.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 1000, I'm here.
1,000, fuck, dude.
If Joe Rogan can do it, we can do it.
Yeah, right.
He's like, what, 2,000 or some stupid
He's
shit?
closing
Pretty
up
close?
on 2,000.
Yeah, fuck that. We're going to beat that.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
They're going to be terrible quality, but we're going to pump them out. Pump them out. Hey, homeless person, get over here. That actually might be a good episode.
Right.
How is it like being homeless? Bad.
Bad.
End of episode. See, we'll pump them out like that.
The world's shortest podcast.
Yeah.
But no, this has been sick, dude. I appreciate not only like from like my other friends, but I appreciate the faith from you in this fucking podcast. You're the one that's sitting behind the production for the most part, and like for real, like the goal one day is to figure out a way to do this and some other entertainment route full time, and either put the homies on a payroll or put the homies on a stipend. Like payroll or stipend. That's the plan, to figure that shit out. But this has been a blast. Fucking A, dude. 100 episodes.
It's fucking cool, man.
100 episodes, man. And I don't know, like, it really sucks that, like, I can't do another one with Garrett.
Yeah.
You know, like, it really does suck. Because, like I said, like, I spent, like, all of, like, not all of yesterday, but the grand majority of yesterday just in a mess, you know?
Yeah.
But, talk about, like, poetic justice. For him to pass where he did, where he put all of his energy into, and it doesn't really compare, but to be able to dedicate number 1 to him, like I'm glad I could. Not like 101 or 102, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's I'm glad that, you know, I'm glad I got to be his friend and to have him on so many times, and not only just to meet him, but like the people that I've met doing this and the people that it's reached, like it's been really fucking cool. It's always gonna, I'll be honest, like, cause like I've told people so many times, like, this is about transparency. Like, it's always gonna bother me that I couldn't do one more. You know, that's always gonna fuck with me. But I was telling, funny enough, I'll tell you more off camera, but I was actually speaking with Simon last night.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was telling him this, and I was telling James, another guy that I met, a friend of mine I met through Legion, and that was really good friends with Garrett. Like, you know, one of the only things that I take comfort in is that he had so many people that genuinely loved him. Not only that, but he knew it, you know? Like, it's not like he committed suicide or just like his death was like by his own hand. Like, it was intentional. But just like he knew that people loved him, and we all knew that he loved the people around him, you know?
Yeah.
And again, I know that it doesn't really stack up a lot, but I'm glad that, like, I'm shocked that this milestone was even hit, but I'm glad that, like, yeah, that I could dedicate that to him, because, like, he's a real good guy. He really was. He was a really good fucking dude. Yeah. 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 That's it's gonna fuck with a lot of people for a while. You know.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Fucking, it was a cornerstone of that fucking whole culture, like community.
Yeah. It was a culture. You
Yeah.
know, it really was. And it's like, I saw people posting like videos of this, like, of like when they were putting out lifting content, and like all the comments under it was like, when's a new video gonna come out? When's a new whatever? It's like, and I didn't say anything, but like, fuck, like this obviously hasn't hit the internet.
No.
So, but on the bright side, this upcoming week, I have to work on scheduling, because once I get scheduling done, we're going to be booked out till October.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I've got a lot of people to schedule, both newcomers and recurring guests.
Fuck yeah.
So we're going to be booked out till about October. So I'm really looking forward to that. Again, Chop Chili, they've been a great sponsor. They don't censor me. They don't question what I do. They know how low budget it is. Like, they know what's up, and they are willing to support, and I love that. And shout out again to JP or Organic Price Books. I still get paid out for him, and he's still supporting me and all that good stuff. It's good. Now I'm just looking at ways to move to just up it. I think the biggest one, and I'm saving up money for it, is I'm gonna buy a light that kind of just hangs and drops down, because I think the overhead lighting is what we need.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dark as fuck in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, overhead lights are the next step.
Yeah. But this has been fucking awesome. Fucking episode 100 almost. God, dude, this is almost fucking 3 hours.
Fucking A, brother.
We just sat down.
Dude, it's just, it brings me joy. Like, walking, like, I know I call this thing the fucking rape dungeon, because it looks like that from the outside.
Yeah, it does.
But dude, I love walking in the studio and seeing like what it's turned into from what it was,
Thanks.
which was literally just a kitchen table and chairs, and then seeing like just how it's just kind of grown and the stuff you've gotten for it, and the things people have made you, like that OnlyKings song. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like it's just seeing this just gives me hope. Like it's cool, man. It's cool. Thanks. Like an environment to be in and just be able to talk and hang out with you, man.
Thanks, brother. Yeah. No, I'm blessed. Like, I say it every chance that I get. Like, I'm blessed. I really am. I'm blessed beyond I fucking deserve. But, well, episode 101 which is gonna be next Thursday. It's gonna be a fucking banger. Ben Shaw, really great guy, talented tattoo artist. He's got a lot to say about what's going on with regulation. A lot to say about what's going on with like actual laws that are getting in place to inhibit the tattoo industry, to include what type of dyes they can use and the ways they practice. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And that'll be a live stream by the time this comes out. It should be tomorrow. So this will come out on Wednesday. That's the plan.
Okay.
So thank you guys for listening and watching. This has been episode fucking 100. And here's to at least 100 more.
100 more, baby. 1,000.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.